Hey everybody, it's meteorologist Greg Majeski here at the Weather Nerds YouTube channel. How y'all doing? And on Facebook, we're going to be streaming here too. I'm going to get that started here in about 2 seconds. So bear with me here as I kind of bring up both audiences here so folks can get going. So here we are. We are going live now on Facebook. So now we're streaming on both channels here on YouTube and Facebook. Again, I want to welcome everybody on the channel. We had a number of brand new subscribers here on YouTube that have come on here through the day. For whatever reason, my update today went a little bit viral. So again, welcome aboard to all you new subscribers out there. Again, I introduce myself as your one and only personal weatherman. I want you to think of me as that, as I'm trying to build this 24-hour weather channel here. I will tell you this much: when we do get to that finish line, the product you see right now will look a whole lot different come then. So hopefully later this year we'll be able to get things going. Now, we're going to talk about little things we got going on here for tonight with severe weather, because a lot of this is probably, if we get anything, it's going to happen while folks are probably going to be asleep, and I probably won't be up that late. But we're going to be up here for a couple hours. We're going to talk about the questions of what you guys can expect here for today, and just kind of get an idea of what's going on. We're getting some of the initial rains here coming into the area. But first, before we get going, I do want to show you all the update from the Storm Prediction Center. They did make an update here, and I didn't post it on the Facebook side, so I do want to give you all an update on that. So let's go on over to that and check that out real quick, as I need to get that going. There we go. And as you can see here, what they did add was they added some yellow into more of the counties here across western Georgia. Now, everybody here in North Georgia is still in that marginal risk, but almost the entire state of Alabama now is in the marginal, or in the slight risk level 2. So we've got level 2 and level 1 stuff. Now, this is going to be kind of a squall line type event that's coming through the area. So, and we're going to be seeing winds that are going to be coming from the south, shift around to the northwest once everything kind of comes on through. So, it's because of that nature of how this is. It's different than what we dealt with a couple days ago. That's going to be riding this. So there is a tornado risk with this. I see all North Georgia here has got that 2% risk for tornadoes. Now, if anything does spin up, folks, we're not talking about one of those big EF3, EF4, you know, one of those big major events. It'd be something small, but even an EF0 tornado could do a little damage to your home. 60, 70, 80 mile per hour winds could be a problem. So again, nothing major. The more significant stuff, I think, will be down to the south. And we're going to show you what's going on with that here in about 2. Heck, well, let's go talk about it right now. Let's go and show you. So again, let's go pull this up on. This just got issued out here a little bit a while ago. So I'm going to pull this up for you. So let's go take a look at that. Let me go look over here. So I'm going to pull back here so you can kind of see here. So we got these tornado warnings that are up, or tornado watches, I should say, that are currently up here across areas of Alabama, Mississippi, Louisiana here, all of these watches that are currently up. You notice we don't have any watches up along our area up in here. Now, we do have a special weather statement here for these storms that just moved through here to the east of the Chattanooga area there, and this one just got issued here. So we're looking at winds here of 40 miles per hour winds and some heavy rains, maybe some small hail with this again. So this is up just over the border there in Tennessee. So I'll be honest with you, that's probably what I expect. A lot of the stuff is going to be here for tonight. It's going to be, special weather statements. I don't know about any severe weather stuff, because even right now with these thunderstorms back over here, a couple things I noticed. One, I don't see a ton of lightning with this. Like we saw the other night, we saw a lot more lightning with this. And 2, there's no active warnings out there right now. We got another special weather statement with this one down here to the south. But we'll see what happens here over the next couple hours to see how this stuff's going to start to evolve. Now, since we're just kind of getting this broadcast going, again, you guys know the rules when it comes to YouTube. The algorithm must be fed. So I see you guys are all active out here telling us where y'all are watching from, and everybody else and our regular viewers out there. Make sure you hit that like button. If you are new to the channel, please subscribe. Help us out there. We're only about 113 from 9,000. I would love at the end of this broadcast to get over 9,000. That's a nice little threshold for us to go over. We're going to pass 75,000 on Facebook from tomorrow. Those numbers are so important for me because we're getting so close. We're so close to putting this thing packaged together to go get that big sponsor. And I really want to get the professional level equipment on here to serve you guys better. I would like to have my own Baron Viper in here and really kind of, bring the game up. The equipment upgrades are nice, and we're doing that. That's awesome. But I really want to take this to the next level. So hopefully you guys help us out there. All right, we got out there. We got a lot of folks. We got Ringhold in the house here. Good to see that. And we got Gwinnett County in the house, the girl next door. Good to see you there too, Sylvia. is it Syrian dude? All right, sorry. Caffeinated misfit. I love these names. They're freaking awesome. Love you guys. That's pretty good. So anyway, so what we're going to be seeing here tonight, what we're going to see over the next few hours is the real hot zone, again, is down here to the south. Notice we've got the watch up, but, here's all this activity back here. A lot of real heavy stuff is back here in Louisiana. So, I mean, you got a lot of severe thunderstorm warnings out here across Louisiana through Fayette County coming on down here to the south. And, again, the timing on a lot of this stuff coming into North Georgia, the initial stuff's just starting to come in now with some of the rain coming in here right now. But none of this is real heavy, severe. So we don't have to worry about that for right now. But again, coming through the overnight hours is going to be the main key. So let's take a look here. I'm going to pull this up. Let me see what the latest, I want to go and pull up the latest high resolution model run here is. And the 23Z is still chewing. So I want to pull up the 22Z and kind of show you all how this is going to play out here for us here. So let's go and get this up here for you. Bear with me for a minute while I get this pointed in the right direction here. So bear with me for a second. Okay, there's that one. All right. And I got to get the two other things up going here for just bear with me here as I get this going here. All right. And one more to go. That's what I get for not doing this in advance. So sorry about that, guys. My apologies. But there we go. So here's the model data here. All right. As we're going to go ahead and go through this. All right. So, again, you kind of see these storms getting are starting to pull, or at least the indications are that they should start pulsing up as we get toward 9, 10 o'clock. So, again, this is looking at 10 o'clock tonight, and then you kind of coming across there as we head toward after midnight. So, I mean, you see how heavy this stuff is down here towards central Alabama, down here. This is where the best instability is. Now, when I say instability, we're talking about heat. We're talking about dynamics and that back over here. North Georgia, it's borderline. That's why we're on marginal, not under level 2. So this comes on through tonight. And here's the thing. Once that initial line comes on through, it's that initial line pushing through where I think the winds are going to probably be the gusty. You're going to get some gusty winds in here. All right. So, again, I'm not thinking this is going to be too big of a deal here as this moves on in. But we will have the rain coming behind it. But the big thing is, boy, it's going to be a lot colder tomorrow, guys. I mean, officially here at my station, granted, I do need to get a cover for my box outside. I just put up the new weather station here at my house. It says 86 degrees. That's probably over by at least 3 degrees, I would say, because I don't have a cover over my station just yet. But it was still plenty warm out there. I promise you tomorrow afternoon, it's going to look a lot different than that. So tomorrow morning, we're going to have the rain around here for the morning, and then we'll see it clear on out. So, and hopefully, we've been watching that next system coming in after that could have some thunderstorms with it. But we'll see if that becomes a problem or not. Right now, I'm kind of waiting and see on that. So that's our going here. Got Johns Creek in the house. Got Lucy watching. And we got Becky over there on Facebook. You got Deanna over there in LJ. You got Jay in Kennesaw. Good to see you guys. Got Elizabeth in Dahlonega watching tonight. Yeah, thank you guys. I appreciate it. And I tell you, it's what's going to be really cool when we get that 24-hour channel up. You'll just go to it. It'll already be streaming live, and we'll just flip the switch, and then we'll go. That'll be very cool. I'll tell you that. Pretty cool. And let's see here. We got Phil from Smyrna watching. And we got Trevor over in Pendergrass. All right. Yeah, so, yeah, the line is definitely looking up there, Trevor. That is for sure, as we're kind of seeing this. There were some the storms here that were up here toward the north and that were up here. These ones are what's left of those initial storms. They really did weaken quite a bit. They were pretty active there across central Tennessee, northern Alabama. That's where we had our severe thunderstorm watch earlier tonight. Early in the afternoon, but those did diminish quite a bit here. So what we have right now is just a lot of just pretty good rains here falling. But you see the one storm that's got the special weather statement with it. The one that has the most lightning around it right through there. So we will continue to watch and see how these things develop. I see one of the storm chasers out here. Let's see if he looks like he shut down for the night, so he's done. Yeah, he said, nope, nothing happening. So I tell you what's been very interesting so far this year, guys, is the severe weather we've seen so far early in March has been just amazing for a couple of reasons. One, you had an EF3 tornado in Michigan in March with the lake frozen. I mean, that's really weird. And you had two of them up there. And then you had the other day, yesterday, I think when they get there, so it may have been an EF4 tornado, big one there in Illinois. Again, also way north. Traditionally, this time of year, the severe weather should be in the south. That's where the warmer air is. It should be down the south. And as we go deeper into the spring and summer, because the jet stream begins to move further north, it tends to shift further north. It doesn't start up there. It's supposed to start down south. And there's a couple things. I really think April might be pretty active for us. And the reason why I say that, we got a very warm Gulf of Mexico right now, just balmy warm. And I'm not talking about for hurricane stuff, but when you got that much heat out there in the Gulf, that means additional water vapor, energy that could potentially come into a storm system. And you got, when you get the polar vortex that's going to break down as it traditionally does in April, you get these nice gyrations of the jet stream, and you got a neutral phase of the El Nino oscillation, El Nino-La Nina oscillation. All those little ingredients to me are coming together for what I suspect is going to be an active severe weather season. So what we've been kind of getting here the other night, and this is, I like to call them like warm-ups, kind of a little thing that's kind of for folks just to get themselves ready for severe weather season. Now, as far as an update on our weather app is concerned, I did get some news. I've never done this before. I am learning as I go along. Both Android and Apple, you have to have a policy statement that's got to be on your website. Then I found out my website got taken down by mistake, and I got it fixed today. It's back up now, and I got somebody get me a policy statement that's got to be on my website. So I'm getting that fixed. And then tomorrow I'll get to beta test or start beta testing the new weather app. The North Georgia Majestic Weather app is coming soon. So you guys will get it. It'll be free. It'll be out there on Android. It'll be out there on the Apple Store. So that's coming soon. So something for you guys to hang your hat on here real soon. All right, let's go down here toward the southern part of this line. I want to go take a look at this. And remember, guys, if you are staying active with it on Facebook, please. Right now we're averaging about 3 minutes and 49 seconds per viewer. We're just kind of getting started here, now 20 minutes into the broadcast. Please let me know where you're watching from. Give me an idea there. It's good to kind of get a demographic look there. Give me a thumbs up. And please, if you haven't subscribed, we like to try to get the last 110. That would be a nice little goal to hit here for today before we go to bed today. All right, so let's go take a look at this stuff down here toward Alabama. Let's first talk back in Louisiana. I'm sure my buddy, one of our digital weather meteorologists out there out in Louisiana has been pretty busy with this, I'm pretty sure. But these are some pretty healthy storms. Look at this stuff. Wow, this stuff's really lighting up good. It's up toward Woodville, and you see a lot of lightning with this, but at least nothing tornadic just yet. That's the good news there, as they're getting a new sweep there coming in across the area there. But this watch, again, they're looking at 1.5 inch hail, 70-mile-per-hour winds in this current watch out that's coming in here. So again, just some very, very bad stuff down here. That's for sure. Very active. So and it's coming in toward Alabama. But the stuff in northern Alabama, it's holding its own. I mean, this stuff does nothing to sneeze at. I mean, this is and if this follows what the model data is kind of showing us here, some of this stuff might get. It looks like it's getting a little more, kind of growing up in intensity here a little bit. Now, it was very warm here across Alabama. It was well in the 80s today, as it was over us today. So the instability, I think, it's there. I was looking at some of the model data kind of showing that a little bit, and it's one of those things that we kind of watch. So. And I could show you that too. So hold on one second. Let me get that up for you real quick. Hold on a second. Trying to find it real quick here. Surface cape. Here we go. All right. So this is what we call surface cape. So I want to show you this here. This is, what time is it now? 8 o'clock. All right. So here's what we call, this is called surface cape. Cape is like gasoline. That's how we best explain this. It's what helps feed thunderstorms. It's called surface cape. So you see, look at these values down here in Louisiana. I mean, we're talking very, very high. You're talking, getting into the 2000s. I mean, that's super fuel gas down here. See that? But you got 700, 500 all up in here, 800. That's pretty good. Not a lot here across North Georgia. Not a lot right there. So and you see this kind of coming on through here tonight. So as I go on through, you see it kind of come up there across Georgia a little bit. It's like this comes up to like 328, 328 right there. 324, 353. So you got a little bit there. I mean, nothing to sneeze at, nothing too high. I mean, but you see how it comes up, especially coming into Georgia. 906, 881, 753. These are the fuel for thunderstorms. So again, you definitely got some surface cape that's there. All right. The lightning flash index, we kind of use this to kind of get an idea what the thunderstorms are doing. So you can kind of see what the lightning is doing here. Again, not overly high, but it does come up a little bit there coming into Georgia here as we go toward dawn. So we got some lightning and thunderstorms coming in here through the overnight hours. All right. And then we got what's called supercell composite, which again will probably favor the southern areas here. Not a lot for us. Yeah, and I just expected that. Look down toward the Florida Panhandle. They're going to have some good nasty storms down that way. And then the significant tornado parameter, that's also something which takes, basically it looks at different elements of tornadoes and kind of gives you a score. So you can kind of see where it's like going into right now. It's 8 o'clock. So where those hefty thunderstorms are right now, you see the tornado parameters are kind of high as it is back here. Nothing over our area here. So, I mean, I know why they have it, but there's still a little bit there, not a lot. And then it kind of clears on through. So again, this is a borderline thing for us guys. Not a huge deal, but I always hate when storms come in overnight. So, you know, folks get a little antsy with that kind of stuff going on. And so we'll have to watch and see how this thing kind of puts itself together. So there is the new, the box that just came out here just in the last hour, that coming into Alabama and Mississippi. You see the storms up there. We're kind of watching what happens with the stuff on the northern part of that. That's what we're watching there. Let me get my pen turned back on. Hey, when I turned it off, my bad. So right, these storms right up in here. So that's what I'm kind of watching, these storms as they kind of roll this way. We got a little bit of stuff there across northwestern Georgia right there, which is some gentle rain. But the other stuff will be coming in here, going in for tonight. So anyway, hope everybody had a good day today. I did. It wasn't too bad. Although I had to deal with the issues with my getting my website turned back on, which is now operational. Yay! So hopefully my buddy Steve, when he gets a chance, can get that policy page done so I can get that weather app. I'm looking forward to actually testing that thing out. So we can get that rolled out here pretty soon. Hopefully. Now it still looks like next week, guys, is that the weather is going to settle down briefly once this goes on by. My only concern, I'm still kind of watching with a little bit, is what goes on with the next storm system coming in toward next week, early next week. That's probably the only thing, because the jet stream energy with it looks pretty decent with this. As this comes on, if it comes on in here, and it's going to get quite cold behind it. So, but the timing on this, on the next system, is the same as the last few. It's coming into our area overnight, going into the morning, not prime heating. So that's again another saving grace. I mean, that'll be number 3rd in a row here. But this one's got some very strong dynamics and a very clash of elements here. In fact, I'll go ahead and show you that real quick, since I'm just kind of looking at it. So this is the next system we got to deal with. This is the one coming in, going in for no, this is right here at 5 o'clock in the morning. See, it's not coming in during prime heating, but this is a pretty dynamic system here. There could be some thunderstorms with this as this comes on through. Is it going to be severe? Yeah, probably not. I would not think so, but it's going to be, if it slows down, speeds up, if it get a little warmer than what's anticipated, you know, because this is still, 111 hours out. So this comes on through. It's going to get a lot colder here. You see the freezing line way down here. So, yep, it's going to get cold next week. Yeah, next Tuesday, we're going to be dealing with some freezing temperatures once again. Back to winter, back to reality. It's coming back at us. So what are you going to do? Just got to do what you got to do. So let's go back here to the reflectivity. Let me see if the new one's done here yet. I think it's done almost. So here's the new one. Here's the new model date again. Yeah, so yeah, see right there at 2 o'clock in the morning. Pretty good storms there, and then it kind of fizzles out. But I really think the southern area, the Gulf of Mexico, the Gulf states, I think are going to be hit pretty good. I'm sure my buddy Chris Smith's going to be very busy down there tomorrow morning as this comes on through. But we're just kind of just on the fence, just a little bit, just on the fence. So kind of watch that a little bit. So let me go back to the radar here. Oops. Yeah, for some reason my rotator up there stopped working. I'm gonna have to get my tech guy to kind of take a look at that, see why that stopped working. That was working fine the other day, but it stopped working overnight. It's a rotating wheel that kind of shows the day 1, day 2, day 3 outlooks from the Storm Prediction Center. It stopped working for some reason, so we'll have to see how that works. And we revitalized the crawl that only shows the warnings for our area, Georgia, not for other areas. That crawl down below used to be nationwide, so we would see everything all over the country. We got to refocus for just Georgia, so we can kind of focus on that. And I might add Western North Carolina into that too, since we get a lot of Western North Carolina viewers here as well. Do you expect the storms to weaken or intensify as they move into northeast Georgia? Probably on the downside for northeast Georgia there, Trevor. I don't suspect this is going to be a huge deal for you guys. Again, this is all borderline type stuff. It really is. Let me go back over to the category look again. Again, I was surprised that the yellow got moved. You know, it was back here, then they kind of moved it. It was just extreme northwest, and they kind of moved it in a little bit further. They kept shifting it to the right here a little bit here throughout the day. So, you know, I don't have any control on this output. This is put out from the guys in Oklahoma City, and they've got those fancy computers and all that techno knowledge out there and stuff. But for right now, I just don't see this being a huge deal for us, unless I see something developing here over the next hour or so. And we're gonna at least go till 10 o'clock tonight. And if it looks like it's starting to fire and get going, we're gonna go a little bit later. So, but we're gonna stay on top of this. Again, appreciate you guys checking us out. Make sure you guys are averaging about 4 minutes over there on YouTube. And YouTube is going to be, we're simulcasting on Facebook and YouTube, but YouTube has to be the primary for severe weather coverage because Facebook doesn't work that way. Facebook does not alert people when things come in and come out. They basically, when your Facebook audience goes down, you don't get it back. So YouTube has got to be our primary going there for that. So as a result of that, for you guys over there on the Facebook page, what I like for you guys to please do, and what I'm going to do right now is I'm going to go ahead and put this over for you guys, is I want you guys to go ahead and become a subscriber over the main channel. I mean, I just wanted you to have that option for you guys to be able to get this on your smart TV and on things like that. So I'm going to go ahead and put this in the chat here for you guys over on Facebook, so you guys can go over there and just go ahead and hit that subscribe button and make sure that you guys have it, because that's just how Facebook works. It just the only way once you lose the Facebook audience, you have to re-engage, and we don't want to be doing that. So YouTube just got to keep it going. So we got Jody in Cedartown watching. Yeah, you guys are at Cedartown. You're like right on that edge there for that slight risk there. So kind of watch out for that. You got Villanova. Is that Villanova, Georgia? I'm not sure where that is, but good to see you there. We've got Hartwell in the house. We've got Sugar Hill. Danny from Sugar Hill in the house. Good to see you. Pendergrass. Trevor. Ray from Talking Rock, good to see you. Kind of going back through some of these that I missed earlier. Reinhold, and we got Winder and Sugar Valley and Chatsworth, Georgia. We got Augusta in the Georgian house. It's good to see a good variety of you guys out there today. That's good to see y'all. Appreciate it. I really do. And, I will be working this weekend, just to let somebody was asking this earlier, so I'll go ahead and answer it. Yes, I'll be working Fox 5 this weekend. It's my last weekend for a little while. I know I'll get a bunch of days in April because there's a bunch of folks taking some time off, but I'll be filling in this weekend. I think the 6 o'clock is mostly Fox Local most of the time, and then the 10 and 11 this weekend, so I'll be filling in for those guys down there. So anyway, let's go back to the radar here. Let's go back over here and take a look at these storms that's a pretty nasty looking cell there. I'll tell you, those are some good looking strong storms right there. Right there south of Fayette, looks like. And you kind of see this. This box here is, again, for the counties here near Tuscaloosa and southern Fayette and southeastern Lamar County. So these are moving east at 35 and wind gust to 40. And that's probably, like I said, that's what I'm suspecting we will probably see here across our area tonight, is that kind of stuff. All right, so it's possible we'll get a few of these in here. And I tell you, the forecast temperatures for tomorrow, I don't even care about it. Thank you there, Connie Branham. Connie, thank you for joining us, Connie. I appreciate that. Thank you very much. We got Rhonda in Chattanooga watching us as well. We got Mary Elizabeth from Holly Springs. We got Jay from Athens. This is over on the Facebook side, by the way. Danielle from Dalton. And we got Brenda from Raymond County. And we got Court Instar. That's a neat name. From Rossville, I should say. Stacy and Chatsworth watching. And we got Nicole from Habersham and Dahlonega. So again, I know there's talk about the tornado threat. Again, I know that the official forecast is low, and there's a reason for that because of the nature of the squall line that's coming through. But we're talking 2%. It's on the low scale of this, and but when you currently see what's going on across northern Alabama, nothing really that kind of rocks your boat. I mean, some pretty decent rains in here, but not bad. The real heavy stuff is really these lines that are just coming into Alabama right now that appear to be moving a little bit to the east, but maybe a slight drift to the north. So we'll see how this will be coming into the city of Birmingham here probably in the next hour or so, as that'll be coming into there by probably around 9:30 or so. And then we'll see how these storms behave as they continue to push off toward the east. It's one of those live cameras we were using yesterday. Kind of see the rainy weather there across the area. And one good thing about some of the things we have here on the Radar Omega app that we use here for our broadcast is that they do have a pretty good camera network here across North Georgia for us to be able to use as well. So we can kind of see what's going on as these things move on through the region. So, alrighty, let's go back over here. I want to check these storms once again to the south. Boy, these things are nasty down here in Louisiana. I tell you, that's some really bright stuff. That is some really heavy stuff down there. Yeah, see, these are moving east at 50 down here, 60-mile-per-hour winds. It's always good to see what storms are doing. Thank you, Casey. Casey Dia. How you doing, Casey? Thank you for joining us on YouTube. Thank you. Always good to get that little alert tone to let us know we got a new subscriber here on the channel. Seeing a special weather statement just came out up here to the north here. This is up here in the Rhinehole area. So we've got this is for, I totally missed this one. Sorry guys, I wasn't paying attention there. Whitfield and Catoosa counties. Strong thunderstorm is impacting Catoosa and Whitfield counties over the Blue Springs or near Rhinehole. Was moving northeast at 35. 40-mile-per-hour winds and heavy rain indicated here. So we're getting a little bit of here across our area. Kind of see that right through there. So we got a little bit there, and this is also going up toward the Cleveland area there in southern Tennessee. So we'll see if that continues to be a trend or not. Right now, the stuff here across northern Alabama is nothing really knocking my socks off right now. But these storms here these are pretty decent, but we got a while, folks. I mean, look, these are on the other side of Alabama. They got a long way to go to get on across, and these aren't moving nearly as fast as what we were seeing the other night. These are moving about 35. Those were moving about 45 the other night when we were doing this. So a little bit different. Let's see. We got Kim from Dade County watching, and we got Cecily from Morgan County, and we got Lafayette up there, Villanova and Lafayette. All right, good, Casey. Thank you. Thank you for letting me know where that was. Yeah, so we'll see how this thing all plays out here. Hey, only got to get 2 more, and we're up over 8,900. Yay. Almost there. That's cool. Awesome, guys. All right. Oops, let me pull up here my Facebook here. We're keeping up on the stream here. Got Laura and Cornelia. We got Steve and Canton. We got Jeff and Grayson. We got Hayesville, North Carolina. And oh, Rita, by the way, if you haven't noticed on our mountain forecast, I did add Hayesville into that forecast slide. So it's there on Facebook. You see the mountain there. Hayesville's in there. I started getting a lot of people asking for Hayesville, so I added it. I did put it in there. But I don't do that for everybody. I mean, it's so funny when you're trying to do a forecast map. Everybody says, put in this city, put in this city. If I put out, I saw a weather guy on another weather page do this. He turned on every city in this coverage area, and you couldn't read any of it because there was just so much of it. You couldn't do it. So you try to get all the best, the big ones you can, but you can't get them all. As much as I'd love to be able to do it, you can't get them all. So we got Benji from Livonia. We got Terry and Decula watching. We got Trina and Marietta. We got Brenda and Dalton. We got Kay and Dahlonega. We got Buford in the house. Lucy out of South Hall, right down the street from where I'm at. Infomax just joined us. Hey, Infomax, thank you, brother. Auntie Grill just joined us. Got Calhoun. Emma just got. Hey, Emma, don't worry about the storms. They're not going to be that big. Thank you, Cody. Thank you for joining us. And my wife was saying if we had had another kid, it was going to be named Emma if it was a girl. So, so we got Christy up in Suches. We got Becky in Rome. We got KS in Clarksville. We got Laurie in Claremont. Who should I tell you, I got to be honest with you guys. All you guys that are watching this here on Facebook and on YouTube, just to see where all you guys are watching from, it really kind of, it establishes what I'm trying to do here. To see such a diverse and spread out of you guys here all across North Georgia tells me I think I'm on the right path. I really am. The goal here for this channel, it is your channel. Okay, I'm just kind of the outlet here, trying to build this channel for you guys. Now, do I want to get something out of it? Maybe next year. You know, what my personal goals is to maybe make a little money and be able to pay off some bills and be retired in a few years. But for this year, 100% of every dime, every nickel, everything I make is going into the channel, because to build something like this, it ain't cheap. I wish it's cheaper than like a TV station would be. TV station's a lot more expensive, but it ain't cheap either. So to get the weather equipment and the data streamings and all that stuff, operational costs monthly for this channel will be $4,000 a month. That's what I got to make. So when I get advertisers and sponsors and things like that, it's got to pay for that stuff. But ultimately, you guys are going to benefit in the end, because you're going to get somebody who's going to focus on North Georgia, who's going to go through the wall to wall, who doesn't have to do with the rules the TV stations have or whatever severe weather they got, you know. So I will be y'all's personal weatherman. That's why we have the subscriber service on Facebook and the member services on YouTube. It'll be a good thing. But I guess the big thing for me is just having a little patience, because I would love to have this on tomorrow. But you gotta do what it is. It's kind of funny though. I'm gonna share this with you guys. It was 1 year ago. I think it was on the 13th when we had a big severe weather event last year. My first page was up to 35,000, and it was like the next day I got hacked and I lost that page. It was almost 1 year ago to the day. And then I launched a second page, and then I lost that one in June. So losing the first page was actually a blessing, because I would have had a bigger audience then, and because I had one of the Atlanta TV stations come after me, not naming anybody. Atlanta News First came after me, and basically they didn't like that. I had First Alert in my name, and that's a copyrighted type thing, so I didn't know that. So I blew the page. So this page has been going since June 5th. So we're passing 75,000 on Facebook. We're knocking on the door on 10,000 on the YouTube stuff, and I'm really excited to hit those numbers. I really am. Because it just gives me good data to go to the big sponsors, like a car dealership, like, Mall of Georgia Toyota, or, Beaver Toyota, or Reliable Heating and Air. Go to those big companies that have big advertising dollars, big digital advertising dollars. Hey, I want you to put your investment in us so I can get their message out and build our channel, make it right, And then another thing I'm hoping to do, guys, I have been reaching out to some other Facebook entities, and I'm not going to name them right now. Obviously, we're just kind of preliminary talks, is to include them as part of the 24-hour channel. So it's going to be weather-based, but also community-based. So we'll put out special features and highlights and things like that. So we'll get into all that. Anyway, let's get back over here to the radar here. I'm going to go take a look at this stuff here. I'm really kind of, it's kind of interesting that they've got the watch box down here, but the heaviest storms are to the north of that watch box area. You see it kind of stretching there from Jasper, coming back south of Fayette, and coming back over here toward Carrollton in Alabama. Not Carrollton, Georgia, Carrollton, Alabama. Back over here just to the north and east of the Tuscaloosa area. So, it'll be interesting to see if the SPC is planning on doing any kind of additional watches. So I'm going to go pull them up real quick. So bear with me while I go ahead and pull them up over here so I can see their discussion, see if they've got anything as far as their product discussion here. And nothing right now. So nothing highlighting for like what we do in weather discussions. It's called a meso discussion. It kind of highlights an area where they may put a potential watch box or something like that. But I mean, this is such a huge cover area as far as where this stuff is going on. And, we've been getting hit pretty constantly over the last 3 days for the severe weather affecting a big part of the country. And this is a big area. I mean, I don't know if you saw this. I should really pull this back and kind of show you this. But this is a big area that is getting impacted by this severe weather. I mean, look at this. This is going all the way from Pennsylvania all the way up here, Pennsylvania, all the way down to the Gulf Coast. I mean, that's a very large slight risk area. So at least it's not in the enhanced level 3, level 4, but it's that's a big area there. And there's the other part of that equation is these are large tornado areas up there across Pennsylvania and up toward Ohio and near Kentucky, and then down, of course, along the Gulf Coast here from Louisiana over to the Florida Panhandle and over towards southern Alabama. So, like I said, I know my buddy Chris Smith, Panhandle Weather, is going to be real busy with that going into tomorrow. He's already got his channel established. He's rolling, so I hope to get where he's at here soon enough. But I'm doing it a different way. He was established chief meteorologist. A lot of the digital platforms that have come up across the country, there were established chiefs in markets, so they were able to kind of get that big sponsorship stuff to really kind of get their channels going fairly quickly. Whereas since I'm not David Chanley or Glenn Burns, I don't have that brand name recognition across the area yet. But we're getting there. We're definitely getting there. I can go anywhere in North Georgia. I get spotted. Hey, you're the weather guy. It's definitely starting to come into its own. Hey, Poppy 73. Thank you for joining us here on YouTube. Hey, and if you're over on YouTube and you haven't hit that subscribe button, what you waiting for, buddy? Now, very important for all you guys like Sandy41 who just joined us, make sure you hit that notification bell. It is so important. I learned that from I had another YouTube channel called Weather Nerds. I didn't really hit that very well, as much as I should have. And I learned quickly that if they don't do that, they may be a subscriber, but they'll never get your stuff. They'll never get your forecast. They'll never get your live notifications. You got to hit that notification bell. To me, it's having a subscribers is fine, but you got to do the other part. You got to hit the notification bell, because if you don't, it kind of defeats the purpose. It really does. And I want to make sure I'm here for you. Okay. So make sure you do that. Let's see here. Looking at here, Griffin, is it going to shift east from Dalton like last time? I don't know about shifting east, but it's going to come through the area sometime tonight. That's what you're looking for. But I don't think it's going to be that bad for you guys up there. Now, Dalton, you guys are into that slight risk, but look what's going on up there right now. It's just plain old rain. Just plain old rain coming up there right now. Oh, I know it doesn't look too bad. Here's that camera up in Chattanooga we can take a look at. You see the rain there falling up there in Chattanooga. And, not looking too bad, but definitely a wet and rainy night. Hey, Hicks 3840. Hicks 3840. Thank you for coming on board here. Thank you very much. And see the other camera over here in Alabama. It's 62.9 degrees there. Got the nice little rain falling there as well. But when we were looking at this camera the other night, we had a lot of lightning in this. We had a lot of lightning coming into this. So quite a bit. But these storms down here, this is pretty decent. Those are some decent looking cells holding their own. And we got one special weather statement on one of those. So we'll see what happens with those. And we do got a couple tornado warnings that have popped up down here in Louisiana. I got a couple of them down here. Let me switch over to the radar here if it'll switch for me. That's going to switch. There it goes. All right. So we got a couple of them down here. These were not here just a few minutes ago. So we got this one radar indicated here. This one's down in western Pike, northeastern Mite. Goes to 8:15. And then you got this one. This was really trekking southwestward, southeastward, really weird. South central West Valencia Parish and Point Coupe Parish. That's in Louisiana. I love the parishes down there. So Louisiana is definitely getting the heart of the action right now. As that line's moving to the east, this is going to really be impacting southern Mississippi, southern Alabama. I got to make sure my mama's ready for this down toward Pensacola. And thank you for those new subscribers. Boy, y'all are rolling that up. Wow, look at that. I just turned my head and realized it moved up that high. All right, man. You guys are going to make a run for 9,000 tonight, man. Y'all are rocking it. I so appreciate that. Like I said, the thing with YouTube, you got to take advantage of these live opportunities, man, because that's the best time for you to kind of grow your channel, because the regular postings don't usually do it as much. Although today was the exception. It did do it today, but they don't happen very often. How's Wildwood, Georgia, and Dalton looking overnight? Reckon they will get real bad. Confederate Kid, 1989. I think what you're going to see is you're going to have some general rain, but you guys are in that level 2 area, so you got to watch closely up there. Okay, as you can see here, I'm going to go back over to the category here. So you're really close. There's Dalton right there. There's the level 2 slight risk there. So I think some gusty winds once the squall line finally moves on through the area. Now it's possible, I've seen this happen a lot of times, where a lot of this initial rain that you're seeing here across the area can fall through the area and help stabilize the atmosphere just a little bit. That's very, very possible. So definitely something to worry about. Hey, Sheila just mentioned something over on Facebook. Definitely a good thing. And I'm going to be raffling these off eventually. I don't know where my radios went. Where'd they go? Oh, they're down here. Hold on a second. Let me get back on my proper thing here. So, yeah, I highly recommend these guys. You see this right here, these Midland radios? These are definitely worth the investment, okay? These Midland radios, they will go off for you. If you're, especially for overnight storms and stuff, highly recommend one of these. Now, another thing that you guys can potentially use here, and I'm going to put this in both chats for you guys if you're interested. Again, especially if you're not a technical person, you're not kind of into the the apps and all that kind of stuff. There is a service that we are partnered with here at North Georgia Majestic Weather. Okay, it's a great service. It's called Weather Call. Okay, now what Weather Call does is you're going to get a phone call from me. It's a recording of my voice, and I'm telling you what you need to do for a particular storm that might be coming to your area. So it's a severe thunderstorm warning, tornado warning, whatever it might be, you're going to get that. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and put the registration link here for you guys. Just bear with me while I get this link here for you real quick. And it's $15. That's like a soda fountain drink per month. Look at it that way. Okay, so you sign up for it. They're going to call you, and then you're going to get the call. When they call you back, you'll hear the text message from me, and then you just save it, Weather Call, in your favorites. Okay, so when you get that call, you'll hear me. Hey, it's Greg Majeski, North Georgia Majestic Weather, telling you stuff. And then what you'll get is you'll get a text message with showing you in relation to where that warning is and all the latest data on that stuff, telling you what to do, and it gets you on the phone. It's real easy, real simple, and it's a great service. It really does. It takes not have to worry about this. The only thing you got to remember to do if you got it is just make sure your ringer's on your phone. That's the only thing you got to remember to do is make sure you put the ringer on your phone. So I'm going to go ahead and put this in the Facebook chat here. If you guys are interested to sign up for that, you can go ahead and sign up for that, and I'll put it over here on YouTube as well. So so you guys can see that. And I guess what I should do this too. So hold on, let me do this. I'll tell you how to do this too. There is another link here. I'm gonna put this other link in here. Kind of explains the way the service works. So if you're interested in it, if you like to have it, you could do that. And it does help the channel. I'm gonna be upfront with that. It does help the channel a little bit here as well. So I get something out of it. You get something out of it, and we all get a win out of it. Put it that way. So let's go ahead and putting all that in there. So the first link is the registration link, and the second link is the just kind of the explainer of how Weather Call works, especially for nighttime events like this. This is where Weather Call I think really comes in handy, especially for those nighttime thunderstorms. I really hate those. All right, y'all got that thing moving. Got up. Only got to get 73 more to go, and we got to our 9,000. And we're getting real close on Facebook, by the way. Oh God. So my buddy Steve Bentley, he's our technical guru here. He's working on that privacy policy letter for it. He asked ChatGPT to create one based on the link I provided. So he's using AI to help create the page link for the policy stuff. So hopefully I'll get that up and I can give that to the guys at the at Barron Services so I can get my weather app going. I'm looking forward to having that. Really looking forward to that. Oh God, where was I going? Anyway, let me go back over here. I want to show you all the satellite picture Okay, I got this zoomed in here today so you guys can see this. So this is a nighttime image. So what we watch for here, when we get into the nighttime, is we look at where this is all your lightning data here. All right, and you kind of keep a close fly on that. And that's kind of holding its own right there for some of that lightning coming at us here. So that's part of that line that's back up that way. So that'll come in a little bit later tonight as we go into the overnight hours. So anyhow, all right. Hey, Joseph, good evening there at YouTube. Good to see you there, brother. Thank you. And if you guys are not interested in those services, on Facebook, we have our subscribers. Facebook call it subscribers. It's like $1.99 a month, and you guys can be part of that network. And what's really good about the guys being part of the YouTube memberships and the subscriber memberships is on the membership on YouTube and the subscribers on Facebook is all that. Even though it's just a couple of bucks, where I'm going to be applying that money is to help pay for the data fees for the weather app. And right now, like for example, we have enough YouTube members and Facebook subscribers to cover $500 of the $750 a month for that app. See, so it does come in handy. It does come in handy. It limits the cost, and then eventually I'll get a sponsor for it. But for right now, while we're trying to get our legs underneath it and going, just a couple bucks, it does make a difference. So, cause I don't spend it, guys. It ain't on me. You know, it definitely goes to the big stuff. All right, let's go back over to the. Let's go back over to the bigger picture here. Hold on a second. All right, kind of looking at the wider perspective here. Again, seeing those thunderstorms and those tornado warnings down here. Still seeing those down here across Louisiana and coming into Mississippi. And then we're kind of keeping a watchful eye on these storms up in here right now. Just plain old rain up here. Not bad right now up across northwestern Alabama for right now. But the big thing I tell you I'm looking to do tomorrow is the fact that tomorrow, and I'm probably going to do a special little recording for this tomorrow, and I think we may do it tonight. We'll see. We're coming up on 75,000 on our Facebook page, and that is such an important milestone because that is 3/4 of the way to the big goal. And the big goal was to hit 100,000 in that first year, and we're right on target. We're on glide path there, and I'm really excited to get to that number. James Foster, I have 2 loads from Dawsonville to Chattanooga back tonight. Keep an eye on your stream. Oh, absolutely, there, James. And I tell you, when we get the weather app up, you guys can, James, you can have that on your app phone. And I tell you, Barron Services got a really good app, and I really love how they integrate it in here for our digital meteorologists. And that'll be a good tool to have here to keep a watchful eye on what's going on for you guys tonight. You just be careful on the roads. Obviously, slow down a little bit. Don't hydroplane, that kind of thing. Just take your time on wherever you're going to have to go here for tonight. James Foster is one of our regular watchers there over on YouTube. We got Westland there in Blairsville tonight. Again, make sure you guys on YouTube, before you guys head on out, you're averaging 4 minutes and 42 seconds on there. So make sure you hit that like button. If you haven't subscribed, please subscribe. And let me know where you're watching from. Please put that down in the comment section below. I always like to see where you guys are coming from here tonight. Surprisingly, Facebook's kind of holding their own tonight. Surprisingly, it usually doesn't go that far. So I got Doug saying, go Army. Yeah, I'm retired Army. Ray's in Brazelton, right out my backyard. Brazelton, again, I think it'll be late. It'll be early morning hours before we get into our area here in our zone. And I might hear a little wind as it comes through here tonight. So be careful for that. We got MRD 7714 from Cartersville. Good to see you there, Cartersville. We got Noonan 89 from Hogansville in, and we got Carol from LJ checking in. All right, I put that in there. Got Morgan in Claremont, Georgia tonight, and Powder Springs, Georgia. All you guys here, again, I'm going to pull that up for you guys to see the big picture. Let me pull that up for you again. Everybody across North Georgia here is in this zone. There's not one place. Everybody's impacted, okay? The yellow areas is in your level 2 areas. So we're talking from Reinhold, right near Rome, Cedartown, down toward Buchanan, down to LaGrange, to the western counties, almost identical where all the watches were yesterday. Everybody else is in that marginal zone. Everybody. I don't care where you're at. Clayton, Athens, Atlanta, Cartersville, LJ, Blue Jay, Blue Ridge, Blairsville, Dahlonega, Gainesville. Everybody is in that level 1. Hey, thank you, Trevor. Trevor just became a member. Well, thank you there, Trevor. Thank you for coming on board. I do appreciate that. And so you guys are all going to be impacted. Now, it's going to be going from west to east, so the western areas will get hit first. Hey, thank you, Sandra Ridley, for coming on board. Thank you. It's going to go from west to east, so it's going to be an overnight type thing. It's going to be late. All right, so again, as we make this, the southerly winds are going to be picking up tonight, generally from about 10 to 20 miles per hour. Then it's going to shift out of the northwest at 15 to 25 tomorrow as the cold air rushes in. And we're going to have lows Friday morning, guys, down in the 30s. We're back to reality. It's going to feel more like normal again across our area. We've been so warm here for a while. It's all the trees are going crazy. I'll tell you, the trees are probably blooming probably a couple weeks ahead of schedule from where they should be right now because of how warm it's been. And then I forgot about this, that the trees in the fall actually started changing, and we reached peak color 2 weeks early. So the trees were changing color because we had a couple of early cold blasts in the fall, and they were changing early 2 weeks ahead of schedule. And now we're getting our blooms 2 weeks ahead of schedule. So it kind of balances out just a little bit. So now the thing I was talking to you guys earlier about what the rest of the severe weather season is going to hold for us here tonight is really going to be the fact that we're seeing the end of the La Nina season. It's pretty much dead. We're pretty much in that neutral phase right now. You see these upwelling of these waters here, and then you got what's left of residual La Nina back here. So that you take these two areas, and you're basically in what we call a neutral phase right now. Now we're going to be going to a screaming El Nino, and it could be a real strong one this year. And what that's going to mean is reduced activity as far as tropical activity is concerned. But remember I was telling you just how warm these waters were up here in the Northern Gulf. They are way above normal for this time of year. And that could help feed additional thunderstorms. So while we're in this neutral phase, I do think the severe weather season is going to be active. It's already starting off very active here across the country, and I think that's going to continue into April. I'm just hoping, obviously, that we don't get anything like we remember April 2011. There was April 29th. 2011 when we had that super outbreak. I hope we don't get anything like that. Nobody wants to see anything like that across the southeast because we had all those deaths, especially in Alabama. And hopefully we don't get anything like that again. But the ingredients from what I'm seeing for this severe weather season are going to be there. So again, those weather apps, the weather call service, the weather radios are all very important to whatever your severe weather plan is out there. And go whatever makes y'all the best comfortable and the most safe. That's the most important thing out there. Can we go into a silent one? I already have a headache. Yeah, I got a headache. Just a little one. Just a little one. So anyway, all right. Let's see. I'm not sure why this is not updating. Why is this not updating? Is this sometimes pivotal weather? Oh, there it goes. It finally kicked in. Just had to kick it in there. There it goes. Sometimes you got to give it a little kick. There it goes. Now we got the new counties up. So this is kind of the overview of where the current watches and warnings are here across the area. Obviously, you can kind of see them back in here. Right now, there's no discussion of anything coming across northern Alabama or north Georgia at the moment. But I'll continue to watch and monitor on the Storm Prediction Center to see if that becomes something more reliable or not. Go back over here to Facebook here. Got Bogart, Georgia in the house. Morgantown. Here, Henry from Morgantown's here. We got Frazier from Ball Ground. Tina from Calhoun. Erica from Rome. I got Beth down at Peachtree Corners. You know, Beth, that was actually where my wife and I, we first moved to Atlanta in 1987. We had an apartment in Peachtree Corners area. That was our first area. I was working at the Weather Channel at the time. Got Jim there in Murphy, North Carolina. We got Christina in Dahlonega, Fraser in Ball Ground, Lauren in Jasper, Kat in Blairsville. We got Cheryl in Woodstock. We got Diane in Habersham County. We got Flowery Branch in the house, Laura. Bo in Brazelton, Sherry in Brazelton. Good to see Brazelton being represented tonight. Thank you, guys. We got Randy over on YouTube watching from Griffin, Georgia. All right. And Griffin, I know technically you guys are a little bit south of my set coverage area. I do a regional North Georgia weather, which does include y'all's forecast in Griffin. So it is on our Facebook page, so you guys can follow our Facebook from there as well. So make sure you do that. All right, hey YouTube, man, you guys are doing great. We're only 68 away from 9,000. Can you believe that? That is amazing. I'll tell you what's amazing to YouTube. I won't tell you. If you went back to my YouTube page on January the 20th, before the 2 winter events, we had 365 subscribers. That's all we had. And then we had a big blow up, obviously, because of the winter weather with the ice storm and the snowstorm we had, and we blew right up to 8,000. And then we've been slowly growing it up, going up here. Now we're up to 89. Now we're knocking on 9,000. It just blows my mind that 1 year ago, I started the YouTube channel originally mid-March last year, and it didn't take off until January. And even though I was posting every day, it did not take off till January. So I am very grateful for you guys coming on board here, and we only got to get 65. I think we're going to do it tonight. I'm very happy about that, to get that 9,000 out of the way. Eventually we'll get to 10,000. We'll get that 10,000 will be an important milestone for us, and I'm very thankful for all you guys over there. Yeah, Deborah, one of my regulars here over on Facebook. Hey, Deborah, yes, no storms, please. Yes, we do not want to see any of these storms, but we got them out there, and I just don't think they're going to be too terribly bad tonight. Thank you, Douglas Rogers. Douglas Rogers in the house. Thank you, Douglas. Let me go back over here to the Birmingham radar here. Again, that's our most intense stuff right there, but again, nothing too bad right now. It's interesting, I'm seeing these outflow boundaries coming out. You see these little lines that are coming out. These are called outflow boundaries, and sometimes when they intersect, you can get some additional thunderstorms to flare up as they kind of clash into each other. Kind of think of throwing a couple rocks out in the pond. You kind of see them come together. We see that in the summertime all the time. How many times have you watched summertime thunderstorms where you see these pools of these waves kind of going out, and they kind of cross up, and you get these blow up thunderstorms? It's kind of similar to that. Hey, Eric Schwab. Thank you, Eric. Thank you very much. Thank you for coming on board, my friend. Thank you. But boy, this stuff down here in Louisiana, wow, they're still getting hit pretty good down here. Look at this. I wonder if this camera is pointing out to the west here. I got to see a camera here in Columbia, South Carolina, Mississippi. I was just seeing if they could see that lightning off to the west or not. Definitely wet there. That's a nice camera, actually. Doesn't look too bad there right now. But they got that camera there, and they got these tornado warnings. Let me see what the velocity looks like on these. See if they like. Yeah. So here's something I want to point out. Here's something I can point out with these storms here. All right, it looks like a bit of a squall line, and I think part of the reason why they've got us under that 2% is because you're looking at squall lines. Sometimes you'll get these little spin ups that'll form along these lines, and that's what you're seeing right in here. Just a little bit of a spin up along this little line of the winds that are shifting off toward the east here. Let me leave this a little loop here to take a look at it here real quick. Let's see what it does here. Come on. Get moving, dude. Probably would help if I would have closed my other stuff down. Hold on a second. Sometimes I keep too much crap open. Save, yes, save. All right, this one more. There you go. Oh, there it goes. All right, there it goes. Yeah, see, kind of, here it comes. See that line? And then you get these little spin-ups along that line. So that's something similar to what I'll be looking for if we get that into North Georgia here for the overnight or not. Now, one interesting thing I want to see here. Let me see. I'll try to see. Let's see if it'll let me do it. sometimes they'll there's a thing called a 3D scan that I can do. So I wanted to see if these storms will let me do a 3D scan on them or not. So let's see if it'll let me. I don't think nope, not available. All right, sometimes it will, sometimes they don't. So, doop. All right, not gonna let me do it. So don't worry about it. I did. All right. They might be in the front seat of my car if I left them. My wife asking me if I brought her by. Oh, they're on the counter actually. Yep. I remember I brought them in. I'm a good husband. I get a golden star. Anyway, let's go back up here to North Georgia. Let's see what's going on. Obviously, we got the rains here coming into Reinhold and Chickamauga and Trenton, and getting some rain into Lafayette right now. Dalton, not quite into your area just yet, but this is just some steady rains coming on in here, kind of streaming into Alabama, across northeastern Alabama. So the rain's just starting to increase. Getting some rains down towards Somerville as well, coming in here. Again, I'm not seeing any lightning with this, but some pretty steady rains. That's good to see. And the rains are a plus, guys. Obviously, we're still fighting level 2 and level 3 drought. Tomorrow's Thursday, so we'll get an update from the drought prediction, the drought monitoring folks, to see where our drought conditions are. And I think we've probably seen some improvement, so there's some good news on that front, and this will definitely help. But we are going to go back into a drier weather pattern. I think next week we're going to be, after we get the rains that come through on Monday, after that, we're going to probably go about a week, I think, with some drier weather in here. We got Ashley in Blue Ridge watching tonight. Good to see you. We got Joanne Collis, and then we got Ruby in Cleveland, Georgia, coming in as well. And we got Susie Phillips watching from Murphy and Peachtree, North Carolina. Ringgold. Yes, it is pronounced Ringgold. I apologize. Thank you, Courtney. I always mess that one up. I'll tell you the one I tell you, the city name that gave me the most fits when I first started doing TV was down in the Florida Panhandle. I was working in Panama City, Florida, going way back to 2003. And there was a town there called Weewahitchka, which I can say very easily now. It's called Weewahitchka. And I just couldn't say that word. I can say it now. Everybody would just call it Weewa. That's what the folks in the Florida Panhandle would say. If you couldn't pronounce it, you would say Weewa, and people knew what you were talking about. But I could not say Weewahitchka. The other city that gave me fits was in when I worked in Columbus, Georgia, which is where I grew up and went to high school down there. And when I worked at the Channel 9 TVM down there, was when we had storms coming in Alabama, and they had Lafayette. Now, you look at it and you want to say, like for you folks up there in Northwest Georgia, it's Lafayette. But in Alabama, it's Lafayette. So, yeah, yeah, it's Lafayette, Louisiana. You know, but you know, us Southerners, we like to have our own ways of pronouncing certain things. Just like, you know, it's not Houston County, it's Houston County. Even though it looks like Houston, same thing. So we got our own way of saying stuff. Hey, we got Archer there watching from Danielsville tonight. Good to see you. Appreciate that. The girl next door, she subscribed back in January. Yeah, all you guys have already subscribed. I like my regular viewers, man. But anybody who hasn't come on board here, I need everybody, man. I need every person I can get. I don't have 400,000 plus folks like some. I don't know if I'll ever catch Glenn Burns, but but I will catch. I will say this. I think tomorrow we will officially be the #1 social media weather page in North Georgia as far as Facebook's concerned. As far as a company, as far as what we do, not from the TV stations. I'm talking just that part of it. We will be the #1 page, so that's a good start. And then I want to chase down the TV meteorologists in the market. I think Chris Holcomb's #1 at 118,000, so I'll try to get him. But this YouTube thing is very important because, like I said, when it comes to severe weather coverage like this, this will be the focal point. It has to be because of just how Facebook and YouTubers are different. So we will continue to do the simulcast, but we need to make sure we have both in there. All right. Oh, we got some more people. Boy, y'all are all chiming in here tonight. We got John in Claremont. We got Melissa in Cumming. We got Terry in Calhoun. We got Angie in Lafayette, Georgia. We got Simon in Pickens County. We got Simone, I'm sorry. We got Heather in Livonia. We got Faye in Tryon. And we got David in Stevens County. And boy, David, you really wanted to give me your name? Hey, we got Mary Richlow just became a member. Well, thank you, Mary Richlow. Appreciate you coming on board and being a member. Hey, if you do become a member tonight, make sure you watch out for your weather. The weather report is posted every morning, generally right around 8 o'clock. It's more of an in-depth weather briefing that I do where I kind of look at all the models, and I usually discuss stuff that I wouldn't put out on a regular forecast. I'm just kind of giving you what I think. But for you guys, just look for that 8 o'clock in the morning every morning. It's for you Facebook subscribers as well as you YouTube members out there. And for you guys that are on Facebook and YouTube, I also give you all kind of behind the scenes look of what we're trying to do with this build out here. And hopefully I'll be paying a visit to some other digital meteorology setup, so you can kind of get an idea what they do there and what we're hoping to do with our operation here. Now, eventually, what I'm going to do, I want to tell you guys here, is I do want to bring in some University of Georgia interns in here to kind of help me out a little bit with some stuff. And eventually, I do want to get some freelance meteorologists so that when I take a day off, or if I got to take care of my father who's in assisted living down the street, or something comes up, I got somebody to back us up. Because right now I'm doing all the work, all the heavy lifting, and eventually I'm going to need to get some help. So, and hopefully we'll be able to get this thing far enough along to where I can do that. You know, do it freelance, 1099 type stuff, at least initially. And then when we get into stuff, then we can get into payroll, that kind of thing. Only 54 more to go, man, YouTube. You guys are rocking and rolling it over there today, man. You guys are doing an awesome job keeping that channel growing. It is so good to see. Hey, we got Jane and Villarica there watching this over on YouTube side. We got Temple. We got Jennifer there in Carroll County watching. We got Justin from Commerce. Good to see you there as well. And Brick Walls just joined Weather Call. Well, hey, thank you for being a Weather Call guy. I appreciate that. I'm sure I'm going to get some email stuff from my buddy. Got a weather guy out in Texas. He's a meteorologist for one of the big Dallas radio stations out there, but he's also a big Weather Call guy. So I know he'll be glad to see that. We got Exhibit Obedience from East Cobb in the house there on YouTube. Thank you there. And we got Russell Kasem from Sugar Hill, Georgia. Boy, it is so good to see all of you guys. You guys are representing all of North Georgia. You're all over the place, and it is so good to see you guys. And again, I know this is not a huge deal for tonight, and I'm trying to keep up on the latest developments as we're kind of watching what's going on over in Alabama. Again, I don't think this is going to be a huge deal for us tonight. Some rain, good sleeping weather. That's what I think. But when the Weather Service puts out certain stuff, it's like, well, we can't totally say it ain't gonna be nothing, because I mean you can't ignore it. You gotta acknowledge it when you got, oh well, all North Georgia's on our 2% risk for tornadoes. I mean, it's low, it's very low, and I don't think it's going to be a huge deal. Several reasons for that, but I can't just not acknowledge it. So. So right now, like in this zone where they got the tornado risk, the mesoscale discussion talks about tornado intensity of a 100 to 130 mile per hour winds. That's EF2 level tornadoes, wind gusts 55 to 70, and inch and a quarter hail in that zone down there. But a lot of this has been down here, from what I've seen. Hey, thank you, Diana Farley. I just made a donation, and Diane is one of our regular viewers there. Thank you, Diane. I appreciate that. We have the STARS program over there on Facebook, and we have the donations there on YouTube. That's how they do both those things. All right, got Lisa in Somerville. Hello, Arcadia. So here's the bottom line for you guys, okay? All of you guys here in North Georgia, all right? You're all underneath this stuff here for tonight. Again, still don't think it's going to be a huge deal. Let me see if the new radar update is in, by the way, while I'm thinking about it. I think the 0Z is starting to get chewing. Yeah, 0Z is chewing. That's good. So, again, this is what I'm thinking you guys are going to see for tonight. Because, again, we probably will be off the air when this thing finally clears on through. But we're going to keep going here for a little while here. Especially since I want to hit 9,000 over there. I really do. So, let me go back over here to the model data real quick. All right, here we go. All right, so what we're going to be seeing here tonight, guys. All right, so this is 10 o'clock. Is that we got these storms that are going to be coming in here by midnight. You see it come up here. We already had some rain in this area. You see the storms going all the way back here toward Louisiana. And this is going to come on in. And I think, again, these areas down here toward Atlanta, these southern zones, as this thing starts to fill in here, and it looks like it will. See how intense that is there? I mean, it's really close. It's really, really close. Coming in toward 4 in the morning, you see these storms coming on in. And as these storms come through, there'll be some very gusty winds along that boundary, especially when we're making the shift from a southwesterly wind. And we're basically changing air masses. You're going from a very warm, moist air mass, unseasonably warm. I mean, we had temperatures in South Georgia in the upper 80s today. Florida was in the 90s. That's just how warm this air mass has been. And we're buckling it out of the way, and we're going back to something a little more seasonable, back in the 50s. Hey, Devin, Air, good to see you there, brother. Thank you for coming on board. And so these air masses are paying bumper cars. And so as it makes that shift, we're going to see some very gusty winds, some brief heavy rains, and then we're going to have the rains that are going to linger. Tomorrow's rush hour is going to probably be a bit of a mess if you have to work tomorrow. And you have some rain, so give yourself a little extra time. And then tomorrow's forecast is going to be a little bit of a pain in the butt, because what I think is going to happen is the temperatures are going to drop initially toward mid-morning, and then they'll come up a little bit, and then they're going to start dropping off again later in the day. So forecasting highs and lows tomorrow, we're kind of whatever. Whatever it is, because because you got a cold front going through, it just makes it difficult to give you, well, it's going to be a high at this low. Traditionally, you get your low temperature at, 7 o'clock in the morning, your highs at 4 in the afternoon. Well, tomorrow's not going to be one of those days. It's just because of a cold front coming through. All right, so let's go back over to the radar once again. And yes, Tyler, you're doing a good job over there, brother. I appreciate that. You keep doing what you're doing. You got King Mar QB from College Park watching. Well, good to see you there, College Park. Marissa Katie was asking about any wind predictions. I think for the most part, what you're going to see with wind predictions tonight is probably going to be in that 40 to 50 mile per hour range. Now, if we get anything that's going to be severe, if it's isolated, you might get something that'll gust up to 60. I think when that boundary comes on through, there's going to be some pretty gusty winds. You might hear it, with some brief heavy rain while you're trying to sleep as it's coming across the area. But I don't think it's going to be too bad. I really don't. Okay, that's just not the right setup. Now, eventually what's going to happen, we're going to get one of these storms that are going to be coming in late afternoon, prime heating. We're going to be warm and unstable. We're going to have some good dynamics. We're going to have those ingredients together. When it comes to severe weather, it's like a jigsaw puzzle. You're putting different pieces of the puzzle. You're checking the box to see what you got. And this one's kind of scattershot, just like the other one we had tonight. It has some of the ingredients, but not all of them. It's just, it's enough there to warrant a watch. To be careful there, because there's enough what we call wind shear there that's changing winds with height, and we definitely have it more substantial this one than what we had the other day. That's why we have tornado watch boxes out instead of severe thunderstorm watches. But that's what we're going to see here for tonight. So let me go back over to the radar real quick. Where's my radar? There we go. All right. So look at all these you got several. We got 4 tornado warnings out here, down here in southern Louisiana right now. They're just getting it, and into Mississippi. Just 1, 2, 3, 4. Got 4 of them down here, and so it's a pretty good heavy thunderstorms down this way. Thank good Lord we're not getting this stuff. But what's interesting is you see these storms moving west to east, and it's kind of running into this equipment, this stuff out ahead of it. When that happens, you can typically get some spin ups and stuff out in that area. Here's another big severe thunderstorm warning they just put out here again into Mississippi. So this will be coming into the Hattiesburg area. But this stuff's moving west to east. So these storms here are going to impact southern Alabama, the Florida Panhandle. My guess is that we'll probably see tomorrow morning there'll be some sort of tornado watch that'll cover up this area right now. Again, this current watch goes out until what time is this going out till? I didn't look at the time on this. Where are you at? Till well, that's not right. That's putting up some wrong data. All right, I'll look at that a little bit later. Ronnie62, thank you, Ronnie. Let me go over here. I'll pull it up over here. That looks like that was old data for some reason. Gotta let the Radar Omega guys know that is some old data. Oh, I know where I can go. Let's go here. Duh. Okay. I have backups for a reason. There's a reason to have those extra backups. So, all right. So this goes till 3 in the morning Central, 3 in the morning Eastern Daylight Time, 2 in the morning Central Daylight Time. So we'll probably have this in the morning. Now these temperatures. Look at these temperatures here at 9 o'clock at night. We're still 76 up in Dalton, 72 over here into Blairsville, 73 in Atlanta. I mean, this is balmy. I mean, it just kind of lets you know just how warm it is. I mean, look how warm it is up here. It's just balmy down up this way, well into the 70s. So, but look at the temperatures behind the front. Let me shift this over here. I mean, you got temperatures here behind this front sitting in the 40s. See us back here? So, I mean, so that's why you're getting the severe weather again. You got a nice little clash of the air masses going on here. And you've got a couple of what we call prefrontal troughs. You see this little dash line here? It's kind of what we call a prefrontal trough out ahead of the main front. So what's going to happen tomorrow is we're going to have that kind of move on through, and I think the rain is going to be lagging behind a little bit. So we'll get the initial cool off, and then we'll get the big drop off going in the afternoon. That's why I'm expecting the temperatures to kind of be a roller coaster for tomorrow as a result of that. Coming on through, but very balmy tonight. I can't believe it's still 76 up in Dalton right now. That's amazing. Wow. I mean, this isn't summertime, and this is freaking March, and we're talking temperatures in the dang mid 70s at 9 o'clock at night in North Georgia. That's just really crazy. Thank you for that new subscriber, by the way. 45 more to go. That's awesome. So, anyhow, right now that's where we're at. Let me go back over to the radar here. I'm gonna go shut this down. Here we go. Back over to the radar here. I keep hitting the wrong one because I'm used to going to that one. My apologies on that. Oh, got another severe thunderstorm warning just came out. So got another one here. I all got 3 warnings and 3 tornado warnings, all in the same area, right along that line. Thank goodness we don't have anything like this up here to the north. We do have another special weather statement. This one just got issued here into the Birmingham area. Let's go check this one out. So we got this one. This goes for another 44 minutes. This is for southeastern Walker, west central Jefferson. Goes through 9 o'clock. 40-mile-per-hour winds. Gusts with that. And it's moving east at 35. So, and that's probably what I'm thinking we're going to see for the most part tonight, is we're going to get these little special weather statements for the most part that may get fired up, and we'll bring in that for tonight. So, these are kind of generally moving eastward right now. And the stuff here across northern Alabama looks really just congenial, I think, here for the most part. Although we get some decent rains here across Summerville. I mean, let me switch over to the Atlanta radar here. I mean, we're getting some pretty decent rains here near Summerville, and coming into Rome here pretty soon. Got a pretty good downpour getting ready to move into there. Near Berry College, getting a little wet there. I like Berry College. That's a pretty campus there. We ran a cross-country meet there years ago. I mean, long time ago. Let's take a live look here in Chattanooga again. Take a look at the camera there. It's still coming down pretty good there in Chattanooga right now. Got that coming on down there. But like I said, it might be just good sleeping weather for the most part here for tonight. Hopefully that stays that way. Make sure you guys hit that like button over there on the YouTube channel. Make sure you let me know where you're watching from. And if you haven't subscribed to the channel, please consider it. Also, if you'd like to help our efforts on Facebook and on YouTube, if you want to become a subscriber or a member, please do so. Love to have you on board. You get that daily weather brief called the Weather Report, North Georgia edition. You guys could check that out as well. Hey, Joe there and LJ's watching. And we got Christine from Cleveland watching as well. Good to see you over there on Facebook. Got a couple folks over there on Facebook watching from Cleveland. And we got Deborah from Covington, Georgia watching. Good to see y'all. Yeah, only thing I see the cold snaps. I'm interested to see what the overnight models do with that next cold front coming in Sunday, Monday period, going into Monday, because that configuration of that jet stream was one that it's a little bit negative tilt. If we get some moisture in there, if the timing works out right, that also could be severe weather. We're like, there you go, keep that thing going. We're almost up to 9,000, man. We only got to get 40 more. Y'all get 40 more, I promise I'll shut up about it for the rest of the night. I swear, I promise. You give me 9,000, I'll shut up about it. But we do have to watch that next one. Hey, Jay Buchanan. Jay, thank you for coming on board. Thank you. But we do have to watch that next one. And we won't get that next one coming. For those who haven't been paying attention, I'll show you this to you real quick. Let me show you the model on this real quick. If you just came in and joined us here, we got two systems we're kind of watching. Obviously, we got the one that's moving through now, which, by the way, may actually dump a little snow up in the Carolinas, believe it or not. Let me show you this. You see this blue up in here that I saw some posting. They may get a little snow in the higher elevations of this thing as this thing goes by. Going in for tomorrow. Look at this, 11 o'clock. That's moderate snow all the way up and through there. It's getting very close to Georgia there, but see that? Yeah, pretty good snows up there. Briefly, I saw 1 to 3 inches potentially up in those mountains as that goes by. And then it's going to warm up. It'll warm up nicely for the weekend. Saturday and Sunday are looking pretty good, but then we got to turn our attention to this next one. And if we see the moisture coming back, it's going to warm up. It's going to be well into the 70s again on your Sunday, but it won't be quite as warm as it was today. And then we got this pretty strong front coming on southward here. And here's the cold air coming in behind this thing. And the earlier one looked a little bit more potential for severe weather with this or not. Right now, I'd say probably right now, looking at the current data, I'd say no, some rain, some thunderstorms, not severe, but it's something I want to keep watching just to be on the safe side, just to see. But we're definitely going to get much colder there, that's for sure. You see that kind of moving on through here. And for those who wanting to know what Tuesday morning lows are going to look like next week, here you go. I'll show it to you right here. There you go. We'll go to that 21, 28, 30, 30, 31. Yeah. It's going to get cold again, folks. And then if you want to really, if we got any kind of wind, let's see if we got any wind out there. Oh, yeah. 10, 18, 21, 22 wind chill. Oh, that's going to be brutal. I'm not looking forward to that. So winter's coming back. It is coming back. We will have to deal with it once again for a little while. That's why we tell you don't be planting anything until we get past Good Friday. I think a lot of the conversations I saw on Facebook were saying definitely better to go ahead and start planning till after a Good Friday typically, and some places in North Georgia maybe even longer than that. So, all right, just making sure they've not changed anything here. Just double checking. Well, they did add something to the date. Oh, day 2, that was a change. I just noticed that change. Let me show you this real quick. There was a couple things they did change. It doesn't impact Georgia, but I just want to show you how this thing's progressing here. So all right. So when the Storm Prediction Center comes out with their outlooks, okay, they go from 7 a.m. in the morning on, like this outlook is for 7 a.m. in the morning Wednesday to 7 a.m. in the morning on Thursday. So that includes the entire overnight period pretty much. So you see that outlook. That's your day 1. Day 2, it shifts to the right. So this marginal wasn't here on the earlier update. They've added it now. So we've got this going into middle Georgia and the Carolinas as this moves on through. So again, a lot of this has to do with the wind energy that's just off the surface. We got a pretty active jet stream in with this. And then the wind shear that's there. So that's the ingredients that are driving the potential for some of that severe weather tonight. But like I said, for a lot of y'all gonna be you're probably gonna be sleeping as this thing moves on through tonight. So, but I am not expecting a major outbreak with this system. All right, let me go back over the radar here. Switch back over to but we're definitely getting some good rains here across northwest Georgia now. Just trying to pick up there a little bit and get that back rolling here. So it's good rain here. Getting ready to rain pretty good into Calhoun and Resca and up toward Dalton and Chatsworth. You got a pretty good surge of some rain coming up that way. Pretty good downpour. And thank you for that new subscriber right there. I appreciate that. 38 more to go. All righty. And I didn't even check how our likes are doing today. How are we doing on likes? For some reason, it's not showing it to me for today. Not sure why. Anyway, all right, 37 more to go. I appreciate it. Looks like the SPC is agreement with these temps, dew points, and upper level. Yeah. And that's been part of the ingredient there. Thank you there for the new subscriber. When you see the temperatures that are well into the 70s, dew points are elevated. You got some decent lapse rates here, and the wind energy, the jet stream energy, which is probably the big thing. What's driving this is we have the residual leftovers of an upper level low that was kind of buried in the southwest. That's kind of merging in with the main jet stream that's kind of flowing through the area. So some additional wind energy that's available there. So it's not that hard when you get that to be able to bring some of that wind energy right down to the surface. So with that additional wind energy being there, and the fact it's not that hard to bring it down, you can get those 40, 50, perhaps 60 mile per hour winds. Thank you, Russell Fox. Thank you very much to bring it down to the surface. So, but this is not one of those setups for like a super outbreak or anything like that. This is a very much what I would call a marginal type event. Now, I think this is also one of the reasons why they brought, the marginal, the level 1, the green has not been around that long. It used to only be, a slight risk, enhanced risk, and then you only had 3 levels. Then they changed it to 5. So to be a little more specific on these borderline type events, and that's what I would call this. I would categorize this as very much a borderline type event. So if you get these kind of storms here that are coming up in here. And you see these outflow boundaries going in here. I'm gonna take a look at some. Let's see what these winds are doing in here. Storm relative velocity. That's not bad. I'm just kind of looking to see what these winds are doing. And let's take a look here. Here's 38, 39. Yeah, doesn't look too bad. Nothing too bad. But when you get these boundaries in here, what you got to look for is when the reds and the greens start spinning up along a boundary. So you see this line right through there. That's those thunderstorms. And sometimes you will get a spin up. All right. So turn that back off. Let's see if this one will let me do it 3D. Nope. I'd have to do a restart to get that to come up, and I'm not going to do that right now. Well, I guess I could. Let me switch over to here. Hold on one second while I fire this back up. Okay, doing a little reboot here. Make sure this thing will fire up. Let's see if it'll let me do it now. Nope, it's just down. Okay, I was trying to see what's called a 3D scan where I can kind of bring it over, and it's not. The radar is not allowing that right now, so we won't worry about it. 31 to go. Thank you for that new subscriber, by the way. Thank you. I appreciate that. The day I tell you what I'm looking forward to on this channel is the day that maybe we've got 30, 40,000 subscribers on the channel. The channel audience is built in. People come in anyway. They know what they got to do, and it's self-sufficient. When I was first doing this a year ago, I almost stopped doing it because I couldn't figure out the whole, I was a little over a year ago, how to get the audience to stay with you. And with YouTube, the way the YouTube algorithm works is you have to have interaction, which is the likes, the comments, the subscribers, all that's got to be going on at once for you to maintain your audience over turn. I didn't know that a little over a year ago. So that's why I have to mention it, because like right now we're averaging 4 minutes and about 5 minutes we're averaging for new viewers. Every 5 minutes somebody new's coming in. So that's why, for those who are watching long term, know I got to repeat myself, because if I don't, you lose your audience. So a lot of that's got to go by there. You you love the subscriber countdown because it reminds you of the old telethons. Who said that? That was Ava Diamond 7624. Well, thank you. Yeah, that's good. It's like we're counting it down to it's like Casey Kasem in the top 40 countdown, except we're counting down to 9,000. I'm all about big numbers, so getting those big numbers is a real nice thing. Although I had one lady fuss at me saying, "Hey, can you get back talking to the weather now?" So I'm like, "Yes, ma'am. I promise I will. I always like talking weather on this channel." But I tell you, I'm just so excited for y'all to. I tell you know what I should do? I should do this. I don't mind doing it because it's a different market. I'm going to do this for y'all. I want y'all to take a look at this. I'm going to put in the chats. I'm going to put in the chat, and I want y'all to be able to pull this up so you can see it. I'm going to pull up my buddy here. All right. I'm going to pull up his. All right. So, all right. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to put this in the chat. I want y'all to see what the 24-hour channel is going to look like when we're getting up and get it going. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to put this in the chat. So here on Facebook, if you're watching here, you guys are going to see the link there. This is the Panhandle weather. This is my buddy down in Florida, Chris Smith. You'll be able to see what the 24-hour channel is going to look like. So that is his link to his live channel down in Panama City, Florida. But it'll give you an idea of what our channel will look like. Our color scheme will be a little different. Obviously, our logo is a little different, but the general format will be the same. So I want to give you guys an idea of what it'll look like, except when we get it going, it'll be tied into the weather app. It'll be tied into YouTube. Eventually, we tie it into Roku and Apple. We'll have an Apple TV. We'll have all of those things out there when we get to that final state. When are we going to get there? I don't know. The big question is going to be whether I can pull off the fine for the big sponsorship. Because what I want to try to do is get that exclusive sponsor for 1 year, so I don't have to worry about sales or anything. Take that capital, get all my equipment, build everything out, let it keep going, and then a year from now, I go get a salesperson who works on commission and get that stuff going. So it'll happen. If God says make it happen, we'll make it happen. If it doesn't, that's okay. Honey, you look sexy in anything you wear.
I'm going to wear these two ones.
That looks nice. My wife is a dental hygienist, if you guys didn't know, and there's a convention here in Atlanta called the Hinman that all the dental hygienists and stuff go in town, and she's going to that tomorrow. So she's going to her convention in town, and she's getting up very early to get down there. So anyhow, thank you for that new subscriber. I missed your name. My wife distracted me. I blame her. All right, let's go back here to the radar. Boy, getting a lot of heavy action down here in southern Mississippi. Wow. I've seen some of these reports. Looks like there was a tornado report here. Tornado sighting by Sherryville PD. Looks like I don't hear any damage reports. That's good to see. But, boy, they're getting hit pretty good down here. It looks like Harrisburg is going to take a direct hit down here with some of these storms down this way. Yeah, I'm not sure why the app's been a little slow here today for some reason. I'm not exactly sure why. Anyway, let's go back over here. Oh, there it goes. It just took it a hot minute. All right, so yeah, this is getting very close. Let's see what this. I do have a camera down here I can take a look at here and see if I can see what's going on down here. There we go. Oop, there we go. So I was looking at earlier. I was just trying to see if there's any lightning and stuff to kind of see what the weather's doing down here. It's just raining right now. Don't look too bad. That's the only thing going on. Oh, they got severe weather going up in the northeast too. Oh yeah, that's that stuff going up to Pennsylvania. That's what those other alert zones are for. Switch back up here to the Birmingham radar. Let me mute that down. I don't think that's going over my ear, is it? I don't think it. Oh, don't think it is. I'm gonna go it down. That alert tone will get a little annoying after a while. So I got to get 26 more to go. 26 more to go. Well, you said 25, so we must have had somebody unsubscribe there, Tyler. That's okay. We're almost there. We're almost there. We'll get there. I think we'll get there tonight. So for tonight, you guys, right now, so far not looking bad. But again, everything it looks like here is trending where this stuff is going to get at is worse going into the overnight hours and going in toward morning. So that's going to be the key here for the overnight hours. And boy, this radar must be getting really overloaded. This is probably the slowest I've seen this thing operate here today. So hold on 1 second. So I'll be glad when I get our own Viper. Now, one thing I'm going to definitely do is I'm going to be putting our weather data when we get our new system and stuff. It's going to have its own dedicated fiber. So I'm probably going to go on AT&T fiber, and I'm going to have that. And then my Xfinity will be my backup. So I'll have two sources here. I'm also going to put. I'm also going to probably get a what they call a backup power just to have that available in the event of a power outage or something like that. So I'm gonna go over here, put this over here real quick. I'm gonna reset this up again. Not sure why it could be Radar Omega themselves. Okay, yours is having problems too. So okay, so it isn't just me. Okay, but I do have more than one source, so I'm okay if Radar that's having problems. Thank you, Kimberly Duvall. Thank you. Look at that, 23 more to go. Bring it on down. All right, so let's go here. I always have a backup. I always have two. That's something I have learned to do. All right, let's go to radar. All right, that's down, so we'll go over to the other one. So we got more than one radar source, and we go over to here. All right, here we go. So this is the WeatherWise, and this is the one that the Godfather Ryan Hall uses, although he's got a partnership with them, and I won't use their stuff. So. You know, these are heavy storms. These are heavy storms down in Mississippi here. See some pretty good lightning coverage with this. Very good lightning. Always can tell. You can always tell a thunderstorm if you see the lightning count or lightning intensity going up. That's usually a good indication of the storms getting stronger. If the lightning count's going down, they're getting weaker. So these are pretty good storms here coming into southern Mississippi right now. With those storms there. Now back up here to North Georgia. Again, just this general light rain. This is not too bad. Okay, got some pretty good rains now coming into Dalton. In fact, we could probably go take a look at Dalton real ck, see what the camera up there looks like real quick. Look at that low end up there. So it looks like a little bit of rain starting to fall there. That's the Dalton rain track there. It's just the rain starting to fall there now. See that they're falling through the light there. So you got the rain falling up that way right now. My quad cameras for tonight, kind of see right there is there in Brownsville. Look at all the dang-gum bugs out there. God Lord, it's in my backyard. I mean, that's not rain. It's not raining here. Somebody mentioned something about all the bugs coming out already. Now I can see why. Oh, the bugs are already coming out. Good Lord. Here's Dahlonega and Blairsville. Oh, my Lord. I didn't realize the bugs were coming out that bad. It's so warm outside. I don't blame them. Look at that. That's amazing. Let's go back over here to the... So, yeah, definitely watching the storms right in here. I mean, these are kind of holding their own right there. Those are the ones approaching the Birmingham area. They might pull into the Atlanta area here later tonight, going in toward tomorrow morning early. Go back over to the radar. Go back there. There we go. Oops. Yep, that rate it's down. It is down. Well, I know what the Radar Omega guys are doing. Oh, there it goes back up. There it goes. They probably had it overload and had to back up their system. For those who don't know, Radar Omega is actually based out of Metro Atlanta. It's up near the Dawsonville area. That's where that company is located. They also do weather cameras and stuff. Although I'm going to be honest with you, I think they're a bunch of snots. They don't treat me as much as I've tried to see if they'd be interested in like a partnership or kind of working at it or me coming by for visitor stuff. They blew me off every step of the way. For those who don't know, I believe Ryan Hall had the Radar Omega first. Originally, that's what he was using. And I don't think he liked the way they were treating him either. So he went over to WeatherWise, and he's now partnered up with them. So I don't know why they're so combative. I mean, I was trying to get a weather camera, and they're like, "Oh, we don't put them in residential areas. Even if you are a business, they don't." And I'm like, and I said, "Hey, let's come by and visit and discuss partnership." No, we don't have tours for this. I mean, they were blowing me off like I was some weather nut off the street or something. I didn't care for it too much. So, but I like their product. I do like their radar stuff. It's easy to use and stuff. There's something WeatherWise has got some things light are not bad Although I've been asked to try the pro version. I haven't decided whether I'm going to do that or not, but I might. Thank you for that new subscriber, by the way. Only got to get 21 more, guys. Hey, before y'all go to bed, let's get 21 more subscribers so I can shut up about it for the night. So if you have not subscribed to the channel, please do so. Hit that notification bell. So important. You got to hit that, because if you don't, you're not going to get our updates on our forecast. You're not going to get our updates on when we do our live events here for severe weather season, hurricane season, winter weather season. We got you covered 365 here on the channel, so make sure you come on board, be part of our little weather family. It'd be an honor and privilege to be one of your weather sources out there. Diane, I know you one of my long-term followers there. I know you're going to do well. I know we'll do well. And thank you, Wayne Allen. Thank you. I don't mean to turn it down all the way. All righty, only got to get 18 more. All right, that's what I'm talking about. Let's see, all these new warnings. I think these are coming up to the north. Yeah, they're up there. Got a little severe thunderstorm watch up there in New Jersey right now. Let's see, this has gotten really close to the camera here. Let's see what that looks like now. Let's see if they're, nope, not quite in there yet. Just checking, getting close. That's like Birmingham's going to get some pretty good stuff here. I should have probably pulled up a Birmingham camera. Should have pulled them up. I know they got one there. But this is getting really close to Birmingham. Some pretty good storms here. It looks like coming into Graysville, Adamsville, Forest Dale. These are the northwestern suburbs of Birmingham. So you see, the outflow boundary showing up very nicely. You see this little one initial one here. So these little outflow boundaries, you'll get some very gusty winds as it kind of moves on through out ahead of that main line. Not a ton of lightning in there, but there's some. All right. Hey, if you guys can do me one quick favor, but while I go away here for just a split second, I'm going to put it in Northwest Georgia here real quick. I got to go to the restroom real quick. I also got to give me another drink just to keep the old vocal cords lubricated. Kit Page, thank you, Kate. Thank you very much. So if you're over there on YouTube, go hit that subscribe button here for me real quick. I'm going to mute my microphone here while I go to the bathroom. I'll be right back with a drink. And there goes Carol Young. Thank you very much. Surprise me when I get back. Let's push that thing up to 9,000. Be right back. Unmute the microphone. All right. 11 more to go. All right. I'm probably one of the few people who could drink a drink at 9:42 at night and still go to sleep. A little bit later. All right. So let's go ahead and do a recap here. Let's talk about what you guys are going to expect here for tonight. Okay. Got to get this all together here for you. So what you guys are going to see here tonight is going to have these waves of rain that's going to move in here initially. Okay. All right, so the main action is going to come in as we get till after midnight, and we're going to watch whatever the squall line is going to set up as this thing's kind of coming together here through Alabama. There could be some gusty winds initially with this, and I think I'm really favoring basically, I think from Cartersville southward. I don't know if it's getting a lot of North Georgia or not, but we'll see. Cartersville southward, Gainesville southward, where I think the higher wind chances are going to be. All right. Now, as this comes through, there'll be some initial winds, some gusts, some brief heavy rains, and then we'll have just a plain old regular rain. I think it's going to linger on through tomorrow morning. And then, like I said, that roller coaster ride with the temperature tomorrow will drop off, warm up, drop off again. it's going to be kind of a mess with the highs and lows tomorrow. So that's what I think we're expecting. You got the squall line that's back here in Alabama right now. We're only going to get 5 more. Is, you know, starting to fill in decently, not bad. Nice little outflow boundaries with this, and this is moving kind of a northeasterly fetch with that line pushing off toward the east here. All right, so this stuff will, you know, you might hear it, you might wake up. It's like, might hear that rain. Hey, thank you, snowy leopards. Oh, I love that name, leopardies. But that's what you guys are going to see here for tonight. Clark Hill, thank you, Clark Hill. Appreciate you. 3 more to go there. And I'm just very grateful we don't have any of this stuff here. Hannah Tolbert in the house. All right, so let me take a look at I want to look at the SPC here. I'm double checking to see if they've got any kind of discussions, which they do not. All right, they do not have that. All right, 3 more to go. No beer tonight. I wasn't in the mood. That's one good thing about having your own station and you got your own weather stuff. One thing you can't do when you're doing live weather coverage at a TV station is have a beer. But you can't have it here. But I'm just having a regular Diet Dr. Pepper tonight. So let me go back into this stuff here. I want to look at these winds one more time here. Look at these winds coming into Birmingham. This looks like, I think they're probably going to extend this special weather statement out, probably coming into the city of Birmingham and out, because I mean that's still looking pretty healthy to me. And you got some pretty gusty winds right along in there. So some good gusty winds that are right along that boundary. Getting ready to come into Forestdale and eventually coming into downtown Birmingham. 31. Doesn't look too bad. There's a 35 I just saw. So it doesn't look too bad. Again, so the beam is shooting up. It catches the wind energy. This is the radar is right down here south of Alabaster. So this Birmingham radar comes down here, and the Huntsville radar up here. That doesn't look too bad with these winds. I'm scanning around just to see what these general winds are doing aloft. 36, there's a 40, 42, 43, 48. Yeah, you got some pretty decent winds just off the start. There's a 51. Yeah. So it's a pretty, I'm scanning just kind of get an idea what the winds are doing above the surface. And that's just not even really, thank you, Bellows Forge. Thank you, Bellows. Hey, we only got to get one more. All right, let's get the one more, and then we'll have a nice little round of applause. But there's some pretty decent winds off the surface. I mean, I was scanning an area where there's no storms there. You see that? I was scanning right in there, but the winds just off the surface are running at 50 miles per hour. And that's not that far for that radar beam. So, thus the reason why you have the possibility for these rains are moving if you get a good downpour to bring those heavier winds down to the surface. But the fact that I was scanning in an area that was showing 45, 50 mile per hour winds, and there's nothing even there, that's impressive. So let's go back over to relative velocity. Still can't do a 3D scan because they're not working tonight. I like the 3D scans. Oops. What I like about the 3D scans, and I wish I could show y'all tonight, but it's not functional tonight, is it allows me to do a 3D look of the storms and see how high the cloud tops are. Now, thunderstorm tops, typically this time of year, 30,000 feet, 35, pretty on the low end, maybe even lower, between 25 and 35,000, we'll say that. But once you get deeper into the spring and you get into the summer months, then they're going 45, 50, 55, 60,000. They go up and up and up because the vertical lift of the storms gets so much stronger. You got a lot of heat energy. You got a lot of lift there. So the storms get bigger as we get deeper into the spring. Little FYI there for you. Let's go look at that area. I keep checking on these storms down here in Louisiana, Mississippi, because it's just so impressive. Although I think that radar is not working. That's a little bit, yeah, that's clearly old data. Let's switch over to this one. There you go. All right. It's getting ready. Hattiesburg getting ready to take a pretty good hit here. The other radar may have taken a hit, power hit. That's very possible. I've seen that happen before. We were tracking severe weather last year, and the Huntsville radar took a direct hit from a lightning strike, and it knocked it down. So very possible. These things are usually the reason even though they have lightning protection on the radar domes, they can still be overloaded and knocked down because, you know, they're usually away from everything. They're the tallest thing around. They stand out like a sore thumb. So when you see those big radar domes, they can get struck. All right, we only got to get one more, man. Who's going to do it? Hey, thank you, Sherrod, for the $5 donation. Thank you very much. Keep it up. I love your little icon, my friend. Thank you. We got Julia Taylor in Mountain City in Raven County watching. Yeah, we'll get that one more. Who wants to be the one more? Because we're averaging 5 minutes tonight. Yeah, the Echo Top does as well. I like the 3D representation. That's all. I just like the little old lady and young Harris here. So glad to have our local weather channel. Hey, that's okay, Mary. Mary, I appreciate you being on board. Thank you for coming on board here tonight. Thank you, James Barkus. I appreciate it. Thank you very much. We got Jody Beard from Cedartown watching tonight. Thank you, Jody. And there goes 9,000. Y'all give yourself a round of applause. We hit that 9,000. All right. All right. So now we just got to get a few more to give us what we call a little pad. And the reason why you say pad is because I will tell you, YouTube, there's a lot of bots out there, my friend, a lot of them. And what typically happens to my account is that it'll go up to a number and then I'll lose a few because of those bots and they drop off and they check them. So it's very important to get the live action ones here. That's why these live events are so critical, because most of the time you're getting real people. Whereas when you post video stuff and stuff, sometimes you really don't know. You'll get these robots out there, and then when YouTube does a scan, what they do is they take those bots and they delete them off. So right now we're at 9,000. We only got to get 999 more to get to that big 10,000. I'm gonna have a party when I get to 10,000. I'll tell you that. When I get my 100,000 on Facebook and I get my 10,000 on YouTube, I'm gonna be like, oh. The hard part for me is I got to get all that data and I got to put it together. I got to put that data together and try to track me down a good person that's going to be willing to go, hey, I like what you're doing. I'm going to give you some money. Here's a big fat check. Boom. That's what I'm hoping I can do. I'm also hoping that some of these vineyards across North Georgia be interested in putting in a weather camera network. I really like to get all the vineyards across North Georgia covered with their own camera network. So with their weather stations. Now, the only bad thing is only kind of good during the day, but that's okay. I wouldn't mind getting those done. Let's go up here to Chattanooga. It looks like it's pretty steady rain falling up there right now. Yep. That's what I call good sleeping weather right there. Good sleeping weather. But let me go put this in motion again here. So starting to see the rain there coming through Dalton, Chatsworth now. Looks like getting pretty close to Blue Ridge. Getting a little rain there going into the Blue Ridge area right now. Get a little bit of this rain. So we're starting to get the initial rains coming across there. This is no big deal. And the stuff back over in Birmingham is just not, I mean, it's decent. But like I said, I really think it's going to be Cartersville, Gainesville south. I just don't know if it's going to get as far north as North Georgia on this or not for tonight. Yeah, William, we did hit 9,000. Thank you. And Tyler, our unofficial mascot, our promotional guy over there on YouTube, he does a good job to remind everybody to do what they got to do over there. So I thank you very much. And the other big milestone, I haven't looked at it, so you guys are on Facebook. I don't leave you guys unaffected there. Is we're only 53 away now on Facebook. Getting pretty close to cross the 75,000. So it looks like tonight we're going to cross two big thresholds, 75,000 on Facebook and 9,000 on YouTube. So that's what I call a good night, my friend. I definitely think that is a very good night. And thank you, Trump 2024. All right. Hey, do we have the Donald in the house? I would have thought that would have been taken right now. Is Marietta going to be okay? Yeah, I think Marietta's going to be okay there, Admiral Trench. This is what we're going to see here. So I'm going to go back here to the big picture here. Let me go back to the composite here. And I got to turn the radars off here real quick. So bear with me real quick while I turn this off. So, all All right, so going back over here, it looks like they have updated. They did update. They just updated the outlook. This just came down. I mean, literally just came down in the last few minutes. So let's go give you the update. They just updated this. So let's go back over to weather-wise. Okay, if you remember, Admiral Trench, thank you. If you remember, we had yellow that was coming up here toward Chattanooga, coming on down here. They have trimmed that away now. Boy, this is looking almost what I just said just a few minutes ago, did I? When I was saying there it was coming up here and then coming up these western. This looks almost identical to what we had the other night. Very close, doesn't it? Very, very close. But they trimmed this away. So now a lot of North Georgia is sitting in the marginal level 1. All right. These western counties, Carrollton, down LaGrange, are in level 2. All right. So these western counties, y'all been trimmed away because it just wasn't looking that good. Not to mention that rain that comes through initially. I think it was a little bit of a stabilizing element there too. All right, so Birmingham's getting on this. And what they're going to be tracking is these storms right in here that'll be kind of moving to west-east. Let me get this thing playing here for you. So here's our storms. And again, that's as far north again. So most of North Georgia here. So we're talking from Clayton over to Dalton, coming over to Dahlonega, Calhoun, Gainesville. Again, from west to east, what you're going to see tonight is predominantly just rain. You might get a little lightning with this occasionally, but it doesn't look like there's a ton of it out there. And maybe some brief gusty winds. Hey, thank you, Diana Farley. You do not need to keep donating. Diana is one of my main backers. I love her to death. She's one of our main donations. She likes to give me money, and I do like to spend it on my equipment. So thank you, Diane. I always tell her she doesn't have to do that, but she always does. So God bless her. So anyway, so what you're going to see tonight, guys, is as this thing comes on through, you just some general rain, a little bit of lightning, a little bit of thunder. It's interesting to see. I think you're going to see a big. Like they still got this set up on the old. They have not updated the categories yet. Oh, they did. Okay, they're still keeping a level 2. I'll just double check and make sure they're on as far as the tornado threat. They're at 2%. And the only reason why I see them they're doing that is because of the abrupt change in wind direction that I'm expecting as the front comes through the area, because we're going from a southwesterly wind back around to a northwesterly wind. So it's shifting around. So there's a little bit of wind shear there. Not a lot, no instability, not a whole lot. But some that's there. So the wind threat is running about 5% all across North Georgia. Hail threat was not really a problem. That's still showing the old one there. But that's still there. All right. Let's go back to categories here. All right. So it looks like they're trimming those back here a little bit. So that's what we got here going on here for tonight. All right, let's see what we got over here. Oh, Diana, you became a Brick Tamlin lover. All right, I have. Yeah, she's one of our new subscribers. She's also a subscriber on Facebook. So she's hitting from both there. All right, thank you, Diana. I appreciate it. We got Barbara from Athens. Hey, Barbara, you're going to be looking at probably toward morning before this gets over your way. Because obviously it's going to be from west to east as it comes on through. Let me look at the latest model data before we get ready to shut things down here for tonight. I do want to keep you all up to date. Let's see what the latest model data is showing here. See if there's been any changes here. It looks like the 0 is the last run we got. So let's go take a look at the model here real quick. All right. So we're sitting here at 10 o'clock at night. So let's get this up to 10 o'clock where it's supposed to be. Right about there. Okay, so here's where we got with our storms right through here. Got a little rain up there. So again, here's your timestamp. Watch that. All right. There's our timestamp right up there. Look up there so you know what you're looking at. All right, now watch as I go through here. All right. So this is midnight. Not really a big deal here. And it kind of comes up. So as we get toward 4 o'clock in the morning, you see it's a pretty hefty action here. Like getting across Metro Atlanta, where that yellow is, where we're showing there on the outlook. That's generally right in there. Just a lot of rain up here across North Georgia as this comes on through. So this slides on through. See the storms going through here. 5 o'clock in the morning. So like you in Athens, you're looking at 5 a.m. before those storms are coming through your area there. There's a lot of rain back behind this, and this moves on through, and then we're done. See, so the last of the rain pulls out by midday, and then we're finished. So that'll be the end of that going in for the overnight hours. So we're going to be seeing again. I know this is not a major event, and I've not been hyping as one, nor I've been doing that on my Facebook or anything else. I keep the official stuff I've got to post. So when the Storm Prediction Center puts out official forecast outlooks and stuff, as a meteorologist, as a channel, I've got to share that with y'all. And then I tell you my opinion. And right now we don't. And thank you, Richard King. Thank you, Richard King, for your $2 donation. I appreciate that. Thank you. So what we're gonna do, so as this thing goes through tonight, just rains and winds. But again, just know that although this event and the one we had 2 days ago were marginal, borderline, we know that. We know as we get into April and we get warmer, there's going to be better opportunities for severe weather. So this is probably one of those good times for you guys to kind of review your emergency plans, know what you guys are going to do, and everything that goes along with that. I always like to remind everybody, this plan, knowing where to go in the event of a tornado, which we tell you all the lowest floor of your home, basement if you got it, put as many walls between you and the outside, don't look out the windows, those kind of things. So that graphic is one I'll be using a lot when we get into severe weather season. Now, hopefully we won't get a lot of tornadoes, but odds are we're probably going to see a few across Georgia. And again, with the season that I'm anticipating here as we go later in the month, and I know the European earlier was kind of hinting at something maybe toward the end of the month, 25th, 26th, kind of long range. But we'll see what happens once we get into April. Because once the days really start warming up, and if we get one of these things to come in when we're looking at max daytime heating, that's when it's going to be one of the things that we have to pay attention to and be able to go on. So, but I am very grateful, very thankful for you guys to help us to get over that 9,000 mark. We're looking to get to hopefully we'll get to that 100,000, 10,000 and 100,000 here as quickly as possible, because I pick those benchmarks because they're big, nice round numbers. People, salespeople, they like those big round numbers. 100,000, 10,000. Here's all my demographic breakdowns. Boom, here you go. And as soon as I can hit that, then I can start hitting the ground running and starting hitting everything. All right, let's go back here, look at the radar here real quick. I want to go back over here to the radar mega here. Not sure where those are all down here in south. All these new warnings are coming out here in southern Mississippi and Louisiana. That's a big warning they put out there. Woo. And I just lost my thing. Did I? I don't see the. Nope. I'm going to have to bring it back down. Hold on one second. Let me switch over here. Sometimes this stupid thing likes to drop off my radar. So I don't know why it does that. Oh. Well. Wow. Yeah, Radar Omega's having some problems. I don't think I've ever seen that. I don't think I've ever seen that that error message before. There it goes. Just took it a hot minute. Thank you for a new subscriber, by the way. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Their servers crashed again. Wow. That's not good for them. Well, there it goes. Finally came back up. There it goes. Thank you. Look at that. Get it. All right. Let's go over to, here we go. All right. So, boy, you can see this very intense line. The way I tell you, Louisiana, Mississippi, multiple spin-ups around this line. This is from the Mobile radar here. Not seeing much there on that. That's not very helpful. F. Jenkins 100. Thank you, F. Jenkins. Thank you for joining us. Thank you for being part of our weather family here. All right, let's go back up North Georgia. I'm not going to fool with them. Not going to fool with them. Go back to reflectivity. But one thing I'm going to do, I want to tell you right now, this is a good example of this, and I'll switch back over to weather-wise here. So it's very clear that Radar Omega's having some problems tonight, but that's okay. That's why we always have a backup. All right. And this is weather-wise. So my two major apps I use, if you're interested, is Radar Omega and weather-wise. Those are the two big ones. that I use. If you watch Mr. Hall out there on his channel, he uses a special version of WeatherWise, which is exclusive only to him. Since he's got that, he's become a corporation, so he's got people that work for him, people he's hired and do a lot of this stuff that help him out. So I don't have that kind of access, but this is the same product that they use here. Now these are kind of weakened a little bit. You see it kind of looping. And we'll see what happens tonight. There were some indications with some of the model data that was showing that there was a surge in instability coming into Atlanta as we get toward 3, 4 o'clock in the morning. So we'll see if some of this mild air kind of works up from the south. But these thunderstorms don't look all that bad here for tonight. So, all right. Anyway, is there any other questions I can answer you guys here for tonight as I'm kind of looking at everything here? Getting ready to wrap things up here for this evening. I think I've got you guys pretty armed. Again, not a huge deal for tonight. You might hear some wind. You might see a lot of lightning and stuff. Just know that you're going to be in for a shock tomorrow. After temperatures like it hit 85 degrees here in my house in Brazelton today. I mean, it's like almost like a summer day. And tomorrow we're going to be struggling when the 50s as these temperatures drop tomorrow. So it's a little bit of a shock to your system with the windy weather and the colder weather. And then we're going to be locked down in the 30s again on Friday morning. And then the thing I'm going to be watching tomorrow for the overnight models tonight is I'm going to be watching to see, do we get one more severe round going into early next week or not? Right now, I'd say maybe not. But the jet stream dynamics look interesting to me. But we'll watch closely to see the timing on that. If we doesn't, it's just a quick hit and run with some rain and some cold temperatures. And then next Tuesday, we're talking freezing temperatures for sure. 20s and probably 30s, and some frost and freeze advisories are probably issued as we go into early next week. Now, the way the freeze and frost warnings work is that once you have in the fall, they don't issue them again. But once you get into spring and things are blooming and things are doing it, they put those advisories right back out again. So we'll see that again going in there. So let me pull up the model data here one more time. I want to make sure I get everybody online here, what to expect here for tonight, no matter where you're at here across Georgia. Okay, so I'm going to pull up this model data here one more time, and we're going to go through that time strain here for tonight. So again, this is at midnight here as these storms are going to kind of come up. They do look like they come up with intensity as it goes to 4 o'clock in the morning here. So it looks like by about 4 a.m. we're coming into metro Atlanta at that time. North Georgia starts to peak up a little bit here as we go toward 4 a.m. And then 5 a.m. So tomorrow rush hour, I think, might be a little wet for sure. And there's going to be some wet, rainy weather around. So when I get up at 6 o'clock in the morning and do my weather on the go, which I will start uploading on YouTube. For you folks on YouTube, I do a daily weather on Facebook called Weather on the Go. I upload it every day, but I do need to start putting it on YouTube too. So I will try to remember tomorrow to start doing that so you guys have that quick forecast. All right, so it looks like this goes on through here. You're going through the Athens area, say around 6, looks like 5, 6 o'clock. And then this kind of moves on off the east, and we got a little energy coming in with some rain there, and then we're done by the time we get toward the noon hour. So we're done at that time. So that's what you're going to see, and it's going to be right along this line in here, you guys. When this heavier reds are in here, and that's where our heaviest rains are going to be, right in here. I mean, your winds are going to be right in there as this is coming on through. So that kind of what we're seeing here on this outlook right here is lining up for what I'm seeing on what the Storm Prediction Center did here. They trimmed away the northwest Georgia counties. They put it right through there. That's where the heavier storms were going to look like they were going to fire up. Now, right now, they're not looking all that bad for the moment, but they could pulse up a little bit. It is awfully warm out there still, even at 10 o'clock at night. I mean, look at the temperatures out there are still sitting in the upper 60s out here. It's the 75, 72, 71 still up in Blairsville at 10 o'clock at night. I mean, it's still plenty warm out there and plenty humid out there for tonight. So again, I'll make one more ask for everybody who's out there on YouTube. If you haven't subscribed to the channel, please consider it. Again, what I'm having to do for this channel to do what I want to try to create, it's all about numbers. It's all about game. It's all about expanding the brand. And so the sooner I can get to that 10,000, the sooner I can get to that 100,000 on Facebook, the quicker I can start using that chat GPTI and start getting me some promotional stuff together and really start trying to, my target is I'm going to send 100 packages out and hitting these big entities, whether it be a lawyer's firm, a plumbing company, a roofing company, a HVAC company, Lake Lear Islands, whatever. Look at these bigger entities to try to put up the big money. And when I'm talking about big money, I'm talking like, here, give me $100,000 check, because that's what I'm looking for 1 year of exclusive content sponsorship for this channel. Because I don't want to deal with sales. I don't want to do all that stuff. I don't want to do the individual stuff. I just want to have one entity, build the channel, and then I can go do the sales stuff later. I just don't want to do that later. That's just my plan. Hopefully it works. Now, if that doesn't work, then I'm going to have to do it the old-fashioned way and just do it, start saving, get individual advertisers, and it'll take a lot longer. It'll probably take me probably another year beyond what I want to do to get that up. But one way or the other, we're going to make it happen. And notice I said we, because I can't do it without y'all's help. And so all of y'all that have been on board here to help me out to get this far, especially since this is the third time we've relaunched this page, I do appreciate it. All right, that is going to be it. I'm taking one more look at the chats here, making sure I'm not missing anything out here. And it looks like everybody's looking pretty good. And there's guys there in Columbus. Hey, Matthew, good to see you there in Columbus, Georgia, my old stomping grounds. You guys are in that level 2 down there in Columbus. Y'all watch out for that. All right. So anyway, that's going to be it for tonight. Again, thank you for all the new subscribers. Thank you again for all the new Facebook followers. Again, watch our updates on Facebook for our daily stuff. And obviously, I keep doing my YouTube updates as well there in the afternoon, usually posting on YouTube between 2:30 and 3 o'clock daily for my regular forecast updates there. All right. You guys take it easy. Again, thank you so much from the bottom of my heart. And we'll hopefully, if I see you next time for another live event, it won't be a big one and we can handle it together, one-on-one. Okay. You guys have a good night. We'll talk to you later. Bye-bye.